Hi everybody, thanks for logging into the video and watching me try to teach you about Samson Properties and all the great things that we have to offer. My name is Donny Samson. I'm our CEO here at Samson Properties. I'm going to teach you in the next hour and a half presentation, depends how long I get talkative, right, about all of the great things Samson Properties has to offer. And I'll always follow up later if you have some more questions after watching the full video. But I think diving in will give you a lot better perspective of all the things we have to offer as a brokerage at Samson Properties. I've also probably, or one of my staff has emailed you a copy of the Be the Realtor You Want to Be booklet that goes along with this presentation. Katie Cox, our great event coordinator, is going to be scrolling through the slides there for you, so you can always see what I'm referencing in the slide next to you there as you're viewing. I'm going to dive into the book there in a second and start with the book, and that'll be our guide through our presentation. What I first like to do is kind of give an introduction of our company, about me, about my father, about where we're going, where we've been, where we're going, and where we're going. Just kidding. I laugh, I joke at a camera. It's weird, but you'll get used to it after a little bit. I appreciate when Katie laughs. It makes me feel much better during the presentation. So my name is Donny Samson, like I said. My father, Danny Samson, is our owner. He's been selling real estate since the mid-'80s when I was a little bit smaller, then a little bit thinner, a little bit smaller, wee little lad back then. He was selling real estate, doing a great job, and then around 2000 he opened Samson Companies. I joined in 2003. So at the beginning he just wanted to have a small team, and I'll manage the team. I'll have a little office over here, and maybe if I get a little piece off all their deals, then I won't have to sell as much real estate. Well, 20 years later, that team has turned into a little bit bigger company. 2003, I was probably about his 25th realtor at the time, or patient number 25, if you want to be cryptic about it. But it was great. I jumped into it young and grew in the business with my dad. So back then, all the way until 2011, so 2011, we were what's called an 80-20 company, meaning we did 80% to the realtor and 20% to the company. Back then, that was a great split for any of you guys that were around in the business back then. Everything was 60-40, 70-30, 80-20 was a strong split. Well, around 2010, 2011, through the ups and downs of the recession, we came out the other side, and we started to sense some realtors wanted more of their commission, and we felt that pressure. All of a sudden, 80-20 wasn't good enough. People wanted 85-15 and 90-10, and the 100% companies were starting to make a splash. And we had, along the way, my dad had also opened a title company that he had full ownership of, Cardinal Title Group. So we did some deals over here on the title side, and he started looking. He's like, we make pretty good money on the title deals. How do we get more of those? Well, we get more of those by getting more transactions. We get more transactions by getting more realtors. Well, how do we get more realtors? We need to probably improve their split. So we made a dramatic turn in 2011. We decided to go to a 100% company, try to recruit more realtors into the company, which would hopefully join and get more Cardinal Title Group closings on that side. But when you step back and evaluate the whole real estate market, I kind of think there's a couple different ways. There's a 60, 40, 70, 30, 80, 20 type splits. A lot of times those are national brands where you pay in for a while until you get to a certain cap number. They give you lots of great services, teaching, opportunities to grow business, but they're going to take a lot of money along the way. Then there's the 100% companies where you kind of look at it from the outside and people say, it's 100%, you kind of get what you pay for, but they're not going to take any of my money, but they're not going to give me a whole lot, right? Well, what we want to be, which hopefully over the next hour I prove to you that we are, is that we want to be the best of both worlds. So we want to be the company that gives you all your money, lets you use it to its best resources, but also does all these things and more than any other company would be. Free this, free that, free education, free coaching program, free print centers in-house, tons of different things I'm going to talk about over the next hour that pour back into you. My whole focus and everything you're going to hear me talk about is our company is built on this. It's never about what can I charge you, what can I make off you, how can I make more money from you, the realtor. It's all about how I can make you better. I spend lots of money so that I can get services that help you succeed more. If you succeed more and you close more transactions, then hopefully you'll use our title company some. But if you're more successful, you close more transactions, you're a better realtor, happier realtor, not only will you be more successful, we'll hopefully see some of those effects, and you're going to tell your friends and people in the industry, you need to join this company. It's great. I love it here. I'm successful. They care about my success, not about how they can charge me, but how they can make me better. So we built a whole company around this principle, and you're going to see over the next hour all the things that I try to pour into my realtors to help them succeed. Now, how can it exist on just the 100%, just the small fees, is because we do have that title company. So the only thing I'm going to ask in return for all this stuff is try to use my title company or our title company. Now, they're great. I'm going to talk all about them more, that they do a fantastic job. They're in all of our branches. They can serve you and do a great job. I can't incentivize you. I can't pay you. I wish I could. I'd give you money per closing if I was allowed to, but rest will come in here and get all mad at me. So we're not allowed to do that. But if we treat you great and pour into you, and the only thing we ask is that you try and use the title company, most people are like, that's fantastic. I get it. We use you, let you keep all your money. You try to use title company makes enough profit so we can pour in everybody. It's a win-win. We're paying it forward. Everybody's happy, and we do a big dance of joy together. That's the whole thing that we're basing our company around, is that pay-it-forward atmosphere. Me personally, so I said I joined in 2003. I sold real estate exclusively for 13 years. Did a pretty good job. Sold over $300 million in my career. At the end there, I had a team for the last 4 or 5 years where I was selling $30 million a year, and the team was doing 10 or 15 million. And things were good. It was nice. Then my dad came to me and said, Donnie, I really need you to help me run this place. And for a second, I was like, I don't know, man. It's pretty good. 30, 40 million in real estate is doing all right now, you know. I just got to worry about my little team. You want me to come worry about this big company going on here? I don't know about all that. But eventually, you know, I love my dad. I love our company. I wanted to jump in with 2 feet and help us going. So in the summer of 2016, I started as our COO with the idea that I was going to help organize, build a great foundation for our company that was growing rapidly, to help improve their products and try to help our company push forward. In the fall of 2019, my dad elevated me to CEO, so now I get to be the CEO and in charge of all this mess, which is an honor and I'm very excited about it. I make jokes, but it's great. The thing that why I focus on my dad's history in real estate and mine is this. You're going to see promoted all the time. We're the realtor-friendly company. We really look at our company as this. You can hire an outside business expert, and some large companies do, to run your company, and they're going to do great things because they've got business specialties. But when you have 2 realtors running the company that had those years of in the trenches, look, we had to do the late night calls with unreasonable buyers and sellers. We had to go to the open houses and pound the pavement and stick the signs in the ground and have nobody come and have all the frustrations. We had to have the buyers back out at the last minute for cold feet, or the crazy in-laws talk them out of it at the last minute. We've had all that fun. I always pick on crazy mother-in-laws. That's not nice. I like my mother-in-law fine. You're a fantastic lady. If you ever watch this video, I'm not sure why you would, but just in case. But we had to deal with all those struggles. So why do I say that? When a realtors run your company, we look at every product and every decision as, would it help me sell more real estate? Would it help me become a better realtor? Is this a product I would use if I was selling today? I don't like to throw smoke I just messed up another song. I don't like to throw, I don't know. Think of a good slogan and put it in there. I don't like to just blow smoke and put products in place that you're not going to use. I want to instill everything that realtors are going to use. It's going to make them more successful, help them sell more real estate, become happier, become more efficient, all those things. So you're going to see a lot of those things over the next hour that I'm putting in place to help realtors succeed because I was there and I know what things would hopefully help you be more successful, like I was blessed enough to be during my career. So that's a lot of where we've been, where we're going, where we got to the split, the evolution of our company. Now we're going to dive into the book, and we'll dive into more details about why I think our 100% is the best deal in town and the best business in the industry. So as you go to the front of the first page there, you see that we have a table of contents, and then you see that we're a 100% company. We're a 100% company with 2 fees. So the first fee, everybody pays, no matter what. $345 brokerage fee or admin fee. Most of you, whatever company you're coming from right now, has that admin fee that you are paying now. Now, 95% of our people pass that on to their clients right now. We even have a sheet that says why we charge an admin fee. You can pass it to your clients, blame Donny, say he's the big bad wolf, he won't let me waive it, you have to pay the $345 on every deal. I don't care, throw me under the bus. They'll never meet me, but we want them to love you, right? So 95% of our people pass it on to their client, but we charge a $345 on every deal as the admin fee or brokerage fee. The second fee will apply to some of our realtors. So that's a $495 transaction fee per deal. So everybody has that. So 2 fees, $345 and $495, unless they're in the Cardinal Club. So at the top of the next page, you see the Cardinal Club. You get in the Cardinal Club by doing $3 million or 8 transactions in the last 12 months. So that's the baseline. Once you're in the Cardinal Club, you are in the Cardinal Club for life. You can never get out of it for bad behavior or not having a good year financially or selling lots of homes. You get your CC for life. You are in our club forever. There's no anniversary, no recast, no hit your cap, no new cap, no whatever the fun words out there in the industry you can see are. You're in for life. Now, a little more clear on how you get in. 3 million or 8 transactions in the last 12 months. Many of you have accomplished that in your current companies right now. So you would walk into our company from day one in the Cardinal Club. Right now we have about 3,100 realtors and about 1,250 or so are in the Cardinal Club. So we love for people to walk in from day one. They never pay me a $495 fee ever. So if you've done 3 million or 8 transactions, you walk in from day one, you're signed up as a Cardinal Club. You never pay a $495 your whole life with me. The second way could be a combination. You might have done 3 or 4 deals at your past company, and then you join us and you do 3 or 4 more deals with us. You get to 8 transactions or 3 million. You shoot us an email. We look at it. We say, oh, you're in the Cardinal Club. We throw a big parade. We throw confetti in the air. We don't really throw confetti. That's a joke. No confetti. All right, but we throw a verbal party for you because you're now in the Cardinal Club. You never have to pay the $495 again. Katie, you don't have to bite the laughter. It's okay. It doesn't matter how dorky the joke is. If you want to laugh, laugh. It encourages me. It's fun. She doesn't want to poke the bear and encourage me, but the laughs are good. It keeps us fun, right? Maybe one of you giggled at home. It's okay if you did. Nobody, you don't have to tell anybody. So we throw the party for you. You get in the Cardinal Club. If you get it, some of your old companies, some with us. It could be you join us brand new. Well, as soon as you get there at any point in the way, 8 transactions worth $3 million in any 12-month period, you shoot us an email and say, I think I qualify for Cardinal Club now, and we can put you in. So the other main way that people get in is through teams. So let's say John Smith is going to join us, and he's done $10 million in the last 12 months, and John would be in the Cardinal Club. Well, John also has 3 teammates he's bringing over. John's teammates have only done 3 or 4 transactions each because they're kind of getting going or they're working under the team. They don't have a lot of their own transactions. John can come over and say, these 3 or 4 people are on my team. He can wave his magic wand. We don't give you a magic wand. Still joking. All right? And he can wave his magic wand and say, these 3 are on my team. They're in the Cardinal Club. So John and his 3 teammates are CC for life, and they never pay a $495 with us ever again. John could also, once he joins us, decide to start a team or grow his team. And if team members join him, whether in our company or from out of our company, they could also be grandfathered into the Cardinal Club because they're part of John's team. So why is that important? And why do we do that? Well, when I ran a team, I had different splits, 70-30, 50-50, 60-40 based on deals, right? Well, that's fine and good, and agents are fine with that. But if you're also taking 10, 20, 30% or $495 off the top, before you make those splits, it really digs into what that realtor on your team makes. We want to give you the whole pie to split up. If you have the whole $10,000 commission to split up 70-30, well, now you can get a good chunk of that commission. If you've got to give a big slice off the top to the company and then split it up, it becomes tougher to keep team members happy and satisfied and both people to get enough money. Some of you guys are at companies right now where, let's say your cap is $27,000 for your team or for yourself, and then $10,000 a team member or $12,000 a team member. Well, you could have yourself and 3 team members where you got 27 grand and 12, 12, 12, 36 and 27 is 63,000. Good at math. Got to be good at something in this world. I got math going for me. So you got $63,000 you're paying for you and your 3 teammates into the company. Well, can you imagine if you had $63,000 more next year to put into your business? Now, some of you say, well, look, I'm going to go put that in savings. Great. Go put in savings. I had one agent that worked for another company for 15 years. He said, Donny, I want to throw up. I added up all the money I'd given them the last 15 years. I could own a townhouse on the beach free and clear with no payment if I had just been paying that money for my townhouse for the last 15 years on the beach. I said, let's not focus on that. Let's focus on going forward because you can't cry about the townhouse anymore. But if you had $63,000, you could put it in a beach house. That's great. But $63,000 a year. What if you put that money back into your business, into your lead generation, into your business? $5 grand a month. Technically, it's a little more than $5 grand. I know. Go with me on this. $5 grand a month you could pour back into your business. How many leads could you generate if you were spending that business because really out for that money. So not only am I making you save, you're going to make 200 grand more next year if you join us with just that 60 grand. So the idea is, I'm going to pause really quick. Robert, are you okay? Are we still getting the right audio, or do we screw up again?
We screw up again. It dropped off for a second or two.
Okay. Okay. But you're only going to lose it for a little bit?
Yeah.
And then it comes back? Okay. If we lose it and it comes back, I'm not worried about 5 or 10 seconds of audio. We can, I mean, even if it's bad for a few seconds, if it comes back, that's fine. Is that what, or is that like a long time? Oh, the audio just drops. Okay. How long ago? Do you know? 60,000? Probably 60,000. All right, I'll go back to I'll just start over with the teams and making money back. Okay, so are we ready now? After the X, you can start it again. So let's assume that you were paying all this money back into the house. If you had $63,000 more, 27 for yourself, 12,000 each for the 3 team members, that you can invest back into your business. Now, you can go put that aside and put that wherever you want to go. But if you had $63,000 you invested back in your business, any good marketing, you just get 3, 4, 5 times your money for the money you spent out, right? Well, that means you're not just going to gain $60,000 a year from coming here. It means you could make $200,000 more a year for your team by just the 60 grand that I'm giving you to invest back in your business that you didn't have before. $5,000 a month back in your marketing is fantastic, and it's newfound money that you're not doing anything more than you did last year. You can pour it back into your business, have more leads, have a bigger growing team, have ad admins, add whatever you want to do to have a more successful business now because you have all this money to work with. So it's phenomenal what you can do. I mean, you can put it aside and do smart things with it, but the people that are really forward thinking says, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take that money, I'm going to pour it back in, because if I use it, my business is going to skyrocket to the next level with Samson and with some of the features I'm going to go through here. So I want to make sure everybody understands the teams, how the Cardinal Club works, how the 2 transactions work, $345 for everybody, $495 for everybody until they are in Cardinal Club. Then it's just $345 forever once you're in the Cardinal Club. Moving down to the next part of the page, we have 21 locations. As you watch this, we may have 22, 25, 27. We've got a bunch of things in the hopper here we'll probably announce here shortly. Right now we're taping this in March 2020. So this is an ever-changing goal with us because we're growing like a weed. I think weed sounds bad. Growing like a beautiful flower. How about that? Growing like a weed is a really ugly term. Right now we have 5 locations in Maryland and 16 in Virginia, and we're working in DC and some other places will be our next places up. Why so much brick and mortar? Well, first of all, if you join Samson Properties and say you're a member of the Samson Properties Gainesville office or whatever, you're a member of one, you're a member of everywhere. They're not differently owned, different market centers. You're in one, you're in all of them. You can use all of them as your own office whenever you want. But a couple reasons we have tons of brick and mortar. One, because real estate, you can do it virtually, but it can be a lonely business when things aren't going good, right? You stare at your own same 4 walls every day. You don't have new ideas. You don't have fresh outlook. Nothing changes in your business. It all stays the same. People like to have a place that they can go and they can participate in company meetings. They can learn new stuff. They can go to education stuff. They can interact with people. They can socialize and network. They can sit in great rooms like this with sales meetings with 80 or 100 agents and feed off the energy of that and get new ideas. People love to have that ability. Even if they're going to go once or twice a month, it's comforting to know I've got an office I can go be a part of. The second reason is you want to have a place that you can meet clients. Like Starbucks is fine, but it's not as good as being able to walk into a professional office, sit down at a conference room, be greeted by a receptionist, and walk in and feel like $1 million when you meet with your client for the first time. Or safety reasons for some of you ladies that are meeting new clients you've never met before. I'd want to meet them in office the first time anyway. I don't know who those people are, right? I like to think the best in people, but you never know, right? So we like to have an office that's comfortable that you can meet with. You can online schedule to use any of our conference rooms whenever you want. You can always walk in and use them, but if you wanted to make sure you had a set of time, you can online schedule and you can have that conference room. Now, if Cardinal Title Group had a closing at the same time, they might bump you, but a lot of times we have 2 and 3 conference rooms, so you'd be okay. You just move to a secondary conference room. So the second reason is people like to have a place that they can meet. The third selfish reason is this. I mentioned that, Cardinal Title Group and the closings there are our lifeblood financially as a brokerage. Well, when I was coming up, 10 years ago, I might have been working hard. We're in Chantilly right now. So Alexandria, about 45 minutes or an hour away. I'm working hard. I'm showing a bunch of townhouses. We ratify on the hood of some car somewhere, and we're fired up. And then I write in there, we're going to close at Cardinal Title Group. And the buyer's my confidant. They're like, all right, Donny, let's do it. Cardinal Title Group. And they'll ask, or the listing agent would ask, they'd be like, all right, Donny, where's Cardinal Title Group? I'd say Chantilly. They'd be like, come on, Donny. We can't go 50 minutes away for closing. You got to find something, be more reasonable. Well, I realized that was a big ask back then. It makes people go 50 minutes for closing, right? So if I've got 21 officers or 25 officers or 30 offices all over the metro area, the idea is no matter where you're writing that contract today, you've got an office 20 or 30 minutes away that you can, A, go write the contract, not on the hood of a car, but in an actual office, or 2, you can perform the closing. We have Cardinal Title staff at all these locations. We can perform Cardinal Title closings at all the different locations. So it becomes easier for you to better service your clients and give back and use both companies. Use those same comfortable processors and the same comfortable title company you're used to using. So we have offices all over. You can use whenever you want. I'm going to show you how to access all those offices later, whenever you want, wherever you want. We also have drop-in desks and printers available at all the different locations. So you can always drop in, use any computer, meet with your clients, do whatever you want on any of the computers at any given time, whenever you want to drop in. If you want to rent a private office, they range from $250 to $450 a month, depending on how big they are. If they've got a window, the big fat corner, one of the corners, $450 a month maybe. The guy in the interior without windows and a little bit smaller, less square footage might be $250 a month. Most of our locations, we have some availability. Some might be sold out and you get on our wait list. We also have opportunities for you to get in there and get a private office if that's available, if that's important to you. The next thing down our list there is that we give $500 recruiting bonus. So it's a $250 for each of the recruitees, first 2 transactions. So we do give, we don't have a built-in system where you can make tons of money off recruits because we don't make a lot of money off each transaction, but we want to incentivize you to get your name out there and try to get people in the door to meet us. Sliding over to the top of the next thing, you see that it says 3,000 realtors and growing. We're actually at about 3,100 as I say this in the middle of March 2020, which is fantastic. We had 918 people join last year, and in the last 12 months, we've had over 1,000 people join. That's pretty awesome. So far this year, we've done 325 people in 2.5 months, which is an amazing pace. If we keep that pace up for the rest of the year, I will probably drop dead. So if I do drop dead later in the year, know that I predicted my death on this film for you. Okay, so I got a good giggle out of the bat, so that was worth it. It was worth it. Hopefully I do not drop dead, and I'm still fearlessly leading you all when you watch this video. But I'm very thankful for that. People say, oh, it's all this growth, it's just a number. Look, the number's cool, and I'm excited about the agents that have joined. But really the coolest part about it to me is this, and sincerely is, that 86% of those people that joined in the last 12 months were referred by a Samson Properties realtor. It takes a lot to step out and tell your buddy, hey, you need to come listen to Donny. You need to come to a lunch and learn. You need to hear a video. You need to come meet with him. You need to consider joining this company. Because that means you're validating, you're vouching for it. That means you like that our realtors like where we are. They like it enough to tell their friends to come join us or listen to us. And that means a lot running a company that people like you enough to hopefully tell people that they need to come consider it. So I'm very thankful for that. Every 2 weeks at our company meeting, we stand up. We introduce the 50 or 60 new people that have joined in the last 2 weeks. This morning we had 67 people in 2 weeks. That's insane, by the way. But 67 people. And the coolest part about it is how many of them, because it shows in there who referred them and how many of them were referred by current realtors. And it's awesome. So we're really thankful for that. We're thankful for our growth, but more thankful that people our biggest recruiting base is our current agents, which is awesome. And it's actually why the numbers continue to grow so much, is that as we grow, it's more and more people that are liking our company, and more and more people that are reaching out telling people to join. When you only had 1,000 people, you only have 1,000 people telling people they should join. When now you have 3,000, you got 3,000 people that are telling people this is a pretty cool place to join. So it's feeding on itself, which is really awesome, and I'm very thankful for that. The next thing down is you see a couple charts. This is always a little bit of a sticky part of my presentation because I don't love I don't bring up the charts to talk about other brokerages in any kind of disparaging way at all. I really like to focus on what's positive about us and how we're doing great. But depending on where you are, we might be a very comfortable brand to you because you're close to us. You might be in an area that we're just emerging of and you haven't heard a ton about us yet. So that's why I bring up these charts to show you kind of where we stack up around. Last year in 2019, we did 8,125 transactions for over $3.4 billion, and that's without new construction. If you put that in, it'd probably be about 8,800 transactions and $3.8 billion in sales, which is awesome. It's up about 35% year over year from the last 3 or 4 years in a row. It's phenomenal, and I'm really proud of our realtors and all the good work they're doing and how we're growing. The next chart down there shows this. It shows number of transactions in 2019 in the Northern Virginia, from the top of Northern Virginia down to like about the Fredericksburg area. So what does that show? It shows all the Keller Williams franchises together, all the brokerages together and how many transactions they did. Then it shows all the Long and Fosters together and what they've done. And then all the RE/MAXs together. So we know there's 10 different types of RE/MAXs in that Virginia area, but I've lumped them all together for argument's sake, that whole brand. Anybody with the first name RE/MAX. So they're third in transactions in Virginia. And then fourth is Samson Properties, which is pretty cool. You know, it's pretty cool for the little engine that could, if I step back for a second and think about it. You know, a couple years ago, we were probably 7th, 8th, 9th. I got a little smile out of Katie on that one. Once in a while, I introduce a new one. The little engine that could, that was a new one. Katie's had to hear my spiel a few times, so I get a smile out of her. It's big. So a couple years ago, we were 8th, 9th, 10th. You know, to see us moving up all the way to 4th in all of Virginia in transactions in Northern Virginia in the last year is awesome. And we're coming for those top couple spots. We're growing every day. So I show that to just show that we are a big brand. You see all the names behind us: Century 21, Pearson Smith, Redfin, Coldwell Banker, Weichert, Berkshire Hathaway. A lot of national brands and name brands that you wouldn't believe that we've done a lot more transactions than in the last year, which is really just a testimony to my great realtors and how hard they're working and their great success. The next chart shows the whole DMV area. So I show you that because maybe you're in DC or Maryland right now. You're like, great, who cares what you are in Virginia? Well, in the whole DC area, from just about south of Baltimore, where we stretch to all the way down to Fredericksburg, we are 7th overall in brand. A couple people move in front of us: Coldwell, Century 21, and Berkshire. But that's for the whole DC area. Now, why? Because we're barely a blip in DC, and we're growing like a weed in Maryland, but we just kind of got there really in strong force about 2 months ago. We went from 2 offices in Maryland to, well, we had 1 office 3 years ago. We opened National Harbor just over 2 years ago. And last year we opened Bowie, Waldorf, and Columbia, all last year in 2019, all in Maryland. So we're growing like a weed in Maryland, but it shows that we're up to 7th now, and I'll bet you we're 6th, 5th, 4th in no time in the whole DMV area as we move into DC and Maryland in more force in the coming months and years. So I'm really proud of all of our workforce, but I wanted to kind of show you, if we're in areas that you're like, well, how big of a brand is that? I don't know if I want to go to a little small brand. I don't know how it happened, but all of a sudden we became a big fish in this little sea that we're swimming in. So I'm super proud of all our realtors, but I wanted to kind of show you where we stood as far as transactions in 2019. And hopefully that'll look even better in 2020 when we pull that up, when we get there. So I've kind of set the stage for what we are as a company. Now, you said, Donny, you were going to talk to me about you're the best 100% because you gave me all the stuff. Well, I'm going to start with something that is super exciting and really new that only a few people have even heard we're offering yet. As of March right now, we just launched this a few weeks ago. We're going to be fully launched in 2 months around the May, June timeframe for all of our realtors to have KV Core for free for all of our realtors. Now, what does that mean? Some of you have heard of KV Core, some of you haven't. So I'm going to dig down all the great things that KV Core has to offer. So every single one of our, now we have people right now in the industry, so for those of you that don't know, KV Core costs $1,000, $1,200, $1,500 for individual realtors. We have realtors in our company right now spending over $1,000 a month for KV Core as a platform that they're using. KV Core is also the platform for some brokerages around. eXp Realty, I'm not calling out other people, but eXp Realty, that is a virtual brokerage, charges $84 a month for a tech fee. Well, and their big thing is their tech stack is better than anybody else's. Well, their tech stack is KV Core. So we are offering KV Core totally free for all of our realtors, which we think is the best tech in the business, and with no tech fee to add it on, just give it to you. It also even goes further than that. KV Core regular stops, and then we've added KV Core listing machine and KV Core Social on top of it to make your experience even more fully intense. So we're going to go through all the great things that we offer with KV Core. First thing, a fully customizable free website. Fully customizable free website that you can log in and set up with IDX included, rich community homepages, home valuation page, lots of extensions off of it. Let's be straight. I could talk for 2 hours just straight on KV Core. I'm going to do like 10 minutes because you don't only want to watch this video for as long as you want to watch it. So we can certainly dive into each one of these features more, but I'm going to hit the highlights of them for you because you got better things to do than watch me for 5 hours today. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not that interesting. So I make myself giggle. That's all that's important, right? The next thing down, a lead generation engine and smart CRM. So what does that mean? So you have free landing pages that you can launch off KV Core at any given time where you can log in and launch a landing page. Maybe it's Chantilly Real Estate. It's Chantilly Homes for Sale, Chantilly Home Values. You can launch free web pages all over the place from your platform that anytime people hits your web page or hits any lead page or any landing page you've done, all the leads come back into your CRM. It's also CRM where you can upload all your contacts, obviously. But so everything's coming back into your funnel. Now, when it's in your funnel, what does Smart CRM mean? Smart CRM means this. If Katie Cox hits one of my web pages, it's going to evaluate Katie Cox and her email address right away. And it's going to pull all the information they can pull in 60 seconds. They do what's called lead validation. It's going to pull everything they know about Katie Cox. It's going to Katie's not married. But if she was, it would pull Katie Cox everything about her spouse. They could be watching this at some point. You could be married. I could be dead and you could be married. All these things could be happening by the time they watch it. So it's going to be really sad if I am dead. You guys will remember me one day by this. Katie Cox, it'll pull on Katie Cox, her spouse, where she works, where her spouse works, any kids. It'll pull all the information that the Big Brother analytics in the world will have from us. Now that is scary and weird and all that stuff, and I get it. But if the information is out there, we want to help it teach you and help you market to that client better. So I'll get into what that means. But the more information we get on that person, the better. So they're all going to get into your funnel. Anybody in your funnel, you can get free market snapshot reports. I used to pay $35, $50, $70 a month just for this feature when I was selling real estate. What that means is I have 400 people in my database. I could set them all up individually or in groups for different neighborhoods, and I could say every month I want them to get a market snapshot report branded to me that shows them what's going on in their neighborhood. Look, people, we all send the emails that say, oh, de-winterize your hose bibs, or here's the recipe of the month. Nobody cares about that stuff, okay? But everybody cares about what's going on in their market, right? What's going on in their neighborhood? What did the neighbor sell their house for? What's going on around the street that I didn't see that house? What's my home value look like? Well, if you're the realtor that's sending out a beautiful branded market snapshot report once a month, then not only are they likely to call you again when it's time to sell, they're likely to refer you when the mom or dad that they're sitting at their lacrosse game this weekend and they say, hey, I'm thinking about selling my house. You know who you should call? My friend Donny. He's great. I get his market snapshot reports. You want that professional representation of you going out once a month to remind everybody in your database that you're the realtor and the professional realtor to call. So the market snapshot reports are awesome. Free, built into the system. Every time, so marketing autopilot is the next thing down. It's about a smart CRM, but it's also a nurturing CRM. So the two words that KV Core would hang their hat on are automated and nurture, because they want to make sure that everything's automated and pumping out for you, text messages, emails, whole plans, drip campaigns that they're climbing to your thing, and they're nurturing where they want to be nurtured. So what does that mean? If Katie has clicked her market snapshot report 4 times in the next month, well, then it might buzz me and say, hey, you might want to call Katie because Katie's been hitting her market snapshot a lot. Or if Katie has switched from looking at Falls Church condos for herself, but now she might be having another kid or something, and now she wants to move, all of a sudden she starts looking at Fairfax townhouses, what's going to adjust her search engines and her likes back to the Fairfax townhouses, because she's now all of a sudden moved a little further west and wants a little bit bigger houses for whatever reason that she's decided that's where she's looking now. So it's tracking their data so that we can properly nurture that client. So all these things are happening within the system. Listing management and marketing and listing activity reports. So this all ties in together. Every time you put a house on the market, I'm going to talk more about what Core Listing Machine does in a second. But the core listing marketing says, or the listing marketing says, it puts all listing out. I don't know if any of you guys have this now, but I never did. I can log in and I can get a beautiful report and it says how many people have seen my house on Realtor.com, on Zillow, on Trulia, on my website, how many people have favorited all these websites, and any Facebook ads or ads that I've run, which we'll run for you, how many people have viewed all those ads and how many people have engaged in it. It'll also pull in information from showing time. So now you can send a report to your seller. Now look, when I'm taping this today, you can't keep a house in the market 3 days. We got multiple offers, everything's crazy. It will not always be like this forever. I mean, I hope it will, but we'll have some flattening out of the market at some point, right? I have been in those situations where all of a sudden you're like, you need to report back to your seller what's going on. If you can report to your seller in a week, look, I've run all these ads, it's been hit these thousands of times on all these different websites. These are all the people that shown it. It's beautiful, it's branded to me. I've got this beautiful market report on everything going on about your home. You look like a pro. They are no longer questioning if they're working with a great realtor. They're like, my realtor's on top of it. Now, nobody's bought my house yet, but I know that he's got his ducks in a row or she's got her ducks in a row and they're doing a great job. So listing market reports are fantastic to keep everybody on top of it. Transaction management integration doesn't mean a ton to you all, but it does tie right through the dot loop, tied to a back office system so that your ease of transaction once you join us will be a lot easier. Branded apps for agents, branded mobile apps, branded open house app. So my brother Bobby has made a prediction that this will be the thing that people are most excited about once they get going and get to know it. A couple different kinds of apps. One, you've got your KV Core app, which is going to have Samson Properties logo, and it's going to sit on your home screen because you're going to use it every day. It is your robot coach. You can click the Samson Properties logo, it opens up, and it's going to tell you, Katie's hit your market snapshot 4 times this week. You should call her. It's going to tell you, Ethan just got a new job. Ethan, you're okay. You're still working here, hopefully. Don't leave. Don't leave me. All right? It's going to tell you that because it's also hooked into all these leads before I talk about Smart CRM, it's going to tell Katie everything you know about Katie and her husband. What's also going to link to their LinkedIn profiles and their Facebook and all the different things they can find out about them on social media out there. So if Ethan has gone in and updated his LinkedIn status to say he's got a new job, what's going to update you to that? Because now you might want to reach out to Ethan and be like, hey, Ethan, congrats on the new job. I saw on LinkedIn that you got a new job. It is your robot coach that tells you who to call, who to email, who to talk to on any given day. Can you imagine clicking it and having 5 things like, oh, these are great things, but not just random like a CRM attack. Call this person because you haven't called them in 6 months. Well, that's not the right way, right? But if you have an action item or a reason to call them, well, I'll pick up and call them now because I have a reason to call them or email them or text them to check in on how they're doing because the system has told me they've been super active in some certain way on the internet or somewhere that I need to check in with them. So the robot coach and your branded app is the first one. The second one, agent branded apps. So if I'm a realtor, Donny Samson the realtor, and I've got this buyer over here, right as soon as we make a connection and they're going to be my buyer client, I'm going to be their buyer agent, I will send them a link that they can click and they're going to have the Donny Samson app. Maybe I'm going to put my beautiful picture as the cover. Probably not my ugly mug on there. I'll probably put a logo or something. They don't need to stare at my face every day on their home screen. But they can click that app. Now, why do I want them to do that? Because it's private. When they go searching on Zillow and Redfin and Trulia and Realtor.com, every button they click is getting tracked by 1 million different people. 100 different people are trying to reach out to them. And they're trying to say, hey, I want to be your realtor. I want to be your... Well, they don't want that, and you don't want that. You want them to search in your world. They can run on your app. They can run any search they want. They can draw lines. They can see heat maps. They can go to different school districts. They can do everything they want in your app. So you now have an app. How many of you out there right now watching have an app? I don't have one. I've never had one before. But if you can pass the Donny Samson app to all your clients, you're going to look like the man or the woman, whichever one that fits your boat, right? But now all of a sudden those buyers got another giggle out of Katie. That's 2. I talk long enough, I might get another one. All right, so you can pass your app to whoever it is that you want to. It makes you look like a pro. They can search in a private environment and stay close to you. You can see what they're doing, and they don't have to deal with the rest of the realtors out there trying to seduce them into becoming their client. So having your own app is huge. It makes you look like a pro. The third type of app they have is the open house branded app. So look, you're watching on TV, so you don't have to raise your hand and embarrass yourself here. But if any of you are like me, then you had stacks of open house sheets that you would go to an open house and you would have them all sign in, and you'd have your stack of papers, or 10 or 15 or 20 people, and maybe you followed up with a couple of them that night that seemed hot to trot, or over the week you were lucky if you shot someone an email or someone gave them a call. But after a couple weeks and a couple months of open houses, that open house stack sheet got bigger and bigger of people you never followed up with. Shame on me. Shame on you. It's okay. We're all human. Life gets in the way, right? Because we tend to hit the fruit that's right in front of us. Well, most leads don't close right away, but they become relationships you have to nurture along the way. So what happens is with the Open House branded app, they can sign in right away on the iPad or on the desktop or whatever you want in your Open House branded app. It's got a picture of the house they're in, and it's a clean look at sign-up sheet. Or if you want them to sign in pen and paper, that's fine. As soon as they walk away, throw your stuff right into the app that you're sitting there open. You can type in their name and information and email address. It's lead validated right away. It's put them on your drip campaign right away. So they're going to get a text an hour later saying, thanks for coming to my open house. It was great to meet you. You know, with follow-up emails and follow-up texts throughout the week. Now all of a sudden, not only are they getting immediately followed up on, but they're also in your funnel. Now, they're in your web, so that now the robot dialer is telling them, or your robot coach is going to tell them when it's great to follow up on them and remind you to follow up on them. So the 10 people that came in your open house, if some of them start actively searching on your website or in your app that they got a link to, you're going to know when it's time to follow up with them people, and and you can constantly start to nurture them as a client. The machine will help you, and then you can hop in as well. So the Open House app is great to make sure you don't miss opportunities. Many of us that have been in the business for a while can look back and think back at their career over the last year, 2 years, 3 years. They'd be like, there are so many people that I met at open houses that I didn't properly put into a funnel so that they could be my future deals. And all you need is one of the 100 people you met that year to turn into a transaction. You're like, wow, this was all worth it just for that one more transaction, that person that I let slip through my fingers. And I would bet if you're like me, there's multiple dozens of people that you could have nurtured more and that would have turned into transactions if you kept with them. So the Open House app. So that's where most people stop with KV Core. Lots of great functionality, awesome stuff. Donny, you could shut it down now and you'd be like, KV Core is great. Well, we paid for 2 special add-ons which are amazing that take it to the next level. One is KV Core Listing Machine. Now what does Listing Machine do? So the next page over talks all about Listing Machine. I'm going to hit some of the highlights. Gives you a single personal property website automatically for you. Many people pay for that or they don't know how to create those. But imagine right away, when you listed 123 Center Street, you got a personal website right away with YouTube videos created automatically for you. It's got private chat on there that they can chat right with you. You've got a beautiful page right away. Now what I would do is also go in there, buy a rider that said 123center.com and buy the URL so you can actually URL it 123center.com. Why would I do that? Because every listing that you do, everything you do, all the neighbors and everybody around are interviewing you. They are evaluating every step you take, whether it's from the signs you put out, the signs out front, the mailers they see, the Facebook ads and stuff they see. They're evaluating every step, how they meet you at an open house, what information you give them, because at some point they're going to sell, whether it's 3 months from now or 3 years from now or 10 years from now. And you either made an impression on them so they'll consider you or not. So if I had this beautiful property website and a rider underneath it that cost $8 that tells them to go to that website, they'd be like, wow, this person had a beautiful website just for that house, and riders and YouTube videos and the whole 9 yards. What if they click on that personal property website? I want to know who that is, right? Well, anybody that clicks on that website, right into your funnel. So they are now in your web of disaster. No, that's a bad one. Web of intrigue. Just your funnel to follow up on. Just giggle with me here. It's fine. So they are now in your funnel and in your smart CRM, so they're getting followed up on and nurtured just like any other client. So it's great to be able to have these property website pages that we're launching all over the place with YouTube videos, private chats. The other thing it does, which is cooler than anything, is it launches your listing right away on all your social media platforms that's connected. So if you've done Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn, not Instagram yet, but hopefully at some point soon, it's going to launch that listing and an ad for it on all those different pages showing the new listing you just put up all over the place. So in just one button, by launching the listing, it's going to all these different places right now that either it takes time for you to do now, or you don't do it all right now because you don't know how to do it and you don't want to learn how to do it. So it's going to do all that for you. It's got some other cool features, but I won't talk about every little one. But those are the main things that Core Listing Machine does. Is it basically throws my listing out to the whole world, looking great in no time, right away, automatically for you. The next thing it does create some printable flyers and stuff for you as well. The next thing that is cool, if you go back to the KV Core list, is KV Core Social. So KV Core Social is this. So many of us want to be good at social media. Not many of us are that good at social media, right? Well, it's because we don't know what to say, you know? Well, we want to launch stuff on Facebook, and we want interesting articles to post all over the place. Well, what if we had, when you sign up for KV Core Social, they have a team of people that is generating all these different kinds of posts, and those posts are automatically going to all your social media pages. So what does that mean? So like you say, I want 2 posts a week going up on my pages. So they're going to dynamically create 2 different things, and it comes from all these different, scroll down a little bit for me. On the topics include real estate, architecture, interior design, all these things circulating around home and home services and the home industry. What's going to post 2 interesting articles a week because I told it to on my social media platforms that makes it look like I'm engaging, I'm looking great, I'm on top of the market, I'm on top of all things around. You didn't do anything. You just told it, post to my page this many times a week or this many times a month. It's going to dynamically do that and make you look like a pro. That is awesome. It's like got your whole own social media manager right there. Automatically post your listings, automatically post this great dynamic client content. I'm just buying you assistance built into the little KV Core system there. So the last really cool thing that KV Core does is we pay for Facebook ads for you, which I'm going to show you more about in a couple minutes. But every ads that we pay for inside the system, they're now run so that anybody that engages in your ad or clicks on your Facebook ads or engages in your Facebook ads, it pulls down their information. So if you run a Facebook ad and 20 people click on it in the next 3 days, and it pulls down that person's name and their information, not only does it pull down the leads and gives them to you, it automatically follows up to that lead that maybe you just sat on before because you were too busy to follow up on the Facebook lead. But more importantly, it throws it into your system to start nurturing that lead. Most online leads, they say they take an average of 8 to 13 months before they actually close. Well, the reality is between now and 10 months from now when they buy, they're going to get engaged with 12 different realtors at different points in time along their path. Well, most of us aren't there to be standing. Whoever was last is the person that ends up getting it sometimes. But if you actually locked this person in from the beginning and stayed engaged in nurturing them through that whole process, you have a much better chance of being the one that's standing there at the end, to be the realtor that's there for them in the transaction. Well, if you don't automatically put them into some kind of web and some kind of funnel that you're marketing to, then they're going to slip through the cracks because you're not going to still be reaching out to them 6 months from now, 8 months from now, 10 months from now, unless you have a system that's doing it automatically and telling you and reminding you to do it. So the Facebook ads are great, and I'll talk more about them, but the fact that they feed into KV Core is even better, so that's going to work there. The last thing it says Marketplace. I'm not pushing you to spend more money on ads, but when I talked earlier about spending $5,000 a month that you could reinvest back in your business, well, into the KV Core platform, you can actually track and you can say, you know what, I've got this great listing. Donny paid for an ad for me. Give me another $100 a week on this ad. Let's see what happens. Well, if you run the $100 a week and it generates 35 leads for you and throws them into your funnel, you might look at it and be like, that was worth $100, right? I'm going to keep throwing $100 a lead at that time because now they're tracked. They come into your system tagged from what ad that they came off of, and you can better evaluate the effectiveness of it. Now you can look back in 3 months and be like, all right, I was spending $500 a month on my Facebook ads on my own outside of this. Well, I look back in 3 months and be like, okay, I spent $1,500. Yeah, but you know what? 4 of the people that have come from this are in my car and going to buy homes. I'm going to make 25 grand off the $1,500 I spend. Double down on all these ads because you can better evaluate now what's working and what's not working instead of independently. For years, I'll be honest, I was running Facebook ads. I had no idea. You know, Robert's behind the camera. If you're not measuring, you're not marketing is this whole slogan, right? Well, for years, I would tell you I wasn't measuring. I just thought it was bad at the bigger circle, okay? I'm going to throw Facebook ads here. I'm going to throw print ads here. I'm going to throw my pretty mug on signs here. Not really pretty, just joking. But if it's a full circle outlook on everything, then eventually I'm going to hit them enough and they're just going to call. And I was fine with that because things were successful. But what if you could actually market more and better measure what was coming in? If I spend that $500 a month on Facebook ads, I can look back in a month and be like, how many of those leads are actually talking to me still? How many are engaged in my product? If it was any number over a couple, or one or two, it's probably really good money well spent, right? I'm going to keep spending $500 a month at that rate. So it gives you the ability in there to easily just click a button and spend your money and market and track what's going on with all the different ads you're running, which is the key part. So KV Core, Listing Machine, KV Social. I did 10 minutes on it. I don't even know. I lose track of how much time I talk. I could talk hours about all the great features. And it's going to be a cornerstone of our business. Now, I can't emphasize enough. People are spending thousands a month for that, and we're going to give it to all of our agents absolutely free. They're going to have all that functionality, do all these things for free, including all the things I'm going to continue to talk about right now. So the next page down is we have our print center. So in our office, I walked away from you there. I don't know if I'm still on camera or not. Hopefully I am. So what I'm going to do first is I am going to show the print ads. And you're not going to be able to fully touch these on the video, so you're going to have to take my word for it and follow along with me a little bit. But I'm going to show you all the things our print center does. And then I'm going to talk to you next page about all the additional free print stuff that we give you for joining Samson Properties. So right over there, you can't see the camera. Don't point the camera over there. Is our big print center. It's like 30 by 30. It's ginormous. It's fantastic. Right now we have 3 really super big 17-foot long, state-of-the-art, very expensive printers that we pay for every month to help produce all these things in-house. Why do it in-house? Because we can do it so much cheaper for you, and our turnaround time can be quicker. That print center is manned from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m., 10 p.m. every single day. Even on weekends, we've got people coming in. So we've got regular shift, night shift, weekend shift. We're constantly producing great stuff for all of our agents. And we're up to 3 machines now because the demand's getting higher. I'll bet you we're going to add a 4th machine by the end of the summer if I had to guess. So what does it do? The first thing is postcards. So we have a standard postcard. Our standard postcard, why is it standard? It's the white one here. It's regular paper, and it has a bleed around the sides where it doesn't go all the way to the edge. So it's not a full bleed. That's why we call it standard. Standard was fine for 13 years for me. I did lots of standard postcards. I got lots of calls off them. Just listed, open house, just sold, all that kind of fun stuff. Now, I'll tell you about the free stuff in a second. But the regular stuff, if you're going to order this, it's basically a 3-step process. I get my postcard. I'm going to show you we've got lots of templates that you can use and download and make your own. You send in your postcard. You send in your PDF. You send in your spreadsheet of the addresses you want it to go. And you tell me how many you want. We charge a credit card, we print them, we address them, we label them, we take them to the post office, we do all those things for you. In 5 minutes, you can hit a couple buttons, send it in, and rock and roll, and we do the rest. Now, from a real estate kid that had grew up in a real estate family that had to sit at night with my dad for like $1 an hour, he didn't pay me anything. All right? He's like, you want to eat? This is what we're going to do tonight. All right, so my brother and I would sit there with thousands of labels, watching the Orioles game, and putting them one by one on top of postcards. The trick was, if I didn't put them on straight, he would tell me to stop doing them because I was screwing it up. But just kidding, Dad. I always did it the right way. But so for somebody that what you'd have to do is go to a painstaking thing. You have to print them all out yourselves on your own printers. Then you have to label them all, take it to the post office, and pay for postage. It used to be so much harder. You can do a mailing now in 5 or 10 minutes on the computer, send it in, wipe your hands of it, and move on. 45 cents each for standard postcards. Includes postage in there. So 45 cents each. You send 200 of them to the neighborhood near you, $90. Charge a credit card, we do everything else. Super easy. Now, my loving father thought that was great, but he wanted a better postcard. So we bought these super machines that can do super duper postcards. And we came up with premium postcards. Now, what makes them premium? You can tell you have to take my word for it, out in virtual land, they are much thicker. See, less floppy when I do it. All right, so thicker postcards are thicker cardstock, and you can see it bleeds all the way to the edge. So this is what we call our premium postcards. Premium postcards, this looks nice. You get this in the mail, you're like, that is sharp, right? Premium postcards, just 50 cents each. So 5 cents upgrade. More expensive paper, got to use the more fancy machine, all that kind of fun stuff. Same idea though. 50 cents each. You say, I want 300 of them. Go to this neighborhood. You send in your postcard, send in your 150 addresses, or 300 addresses. We charge you $150. We do the rest. So 45 cents for standard, 50 cents for premium postcards. The next necessary evil in our business when it comes to printing is brochures. We've all done brochures in our lives, for better or worse, right? So the first level, first of all, sometimes I bury the lead. We give you all the free color printing for normal day business that you want for free. I already said free color printing. We give you all the color printing you want for free in all of our branches. So what does that mean? Everyday business. We're talking about, okay, I'm printing out some listings to go, and some companies charge. That's why I bring that up. I'm going to go show some listings today. I want to print up some stuff. I'm going to print out some listing presentations, or I need some stuff for my open house flyers. Every run-of-the-mill, everyday stuff, all free in all of our local branches if you want to print out your own stuff. Now, brochures. We give you 4-page standard brochures for free, as many as you want. Now, we say 30 at a time, okay? Run 30. If you need 30 more next week, send an email. We'll print 30 more for you, okay? My picture's in the standard. I don't know. I guess I'm standard. Danny's premium. I don't know. You figure it out. I guess I know my place in the world, right? So the standard is just regular paper, but it comes out beautiful. It's probably sufficient, but it's free. Now, if it were me, I would consider going to the upgraded version. The first one is the 4-page premium. So 4-page premium is a much thicker cardstock and bleeds to the edge. So when we first unveiled this, our veteran realtors that were using print shops said that would cost me $250 a piece at a print center. Seems reasonable. We charge just 50 cents each. So 50 cents each for a 4-page premium brochure. So you want 50 of these in your new listing, send it in, say I want 50 of them in premium, $25, we charge your card, we deliver these 50 beautiful brochures either to you where you're at or to your listing if you want to use our runners. So 50 beautiful 4-page brochures, or not 50, they're 50 cents each. So yeah, you can do 50 for $25. It's a lot of math right there. Sorry about that. 50 cents each for 4-page. Now, the next one that I would do, if I had any kind of a decent listing, is I would go the next level. 8 pages of premium goodness. So 8 pages, all premium paper, all bleeding to the edge, all looking amazing. People are like, that's $3.50, $4, right? No, just 75 cents each. 75 cents each. Now, if I had a room here, you'd all be like, oh, gasp and ooh and ah. Maybe you did that at home. I don't know. Probably not. It's okay. 75 cents each for an 8-page premium brochure. Now, between you and I and the fence post, is the brochure ever going to sell your house? Probably not, right? But 3 reasons I would do an 8-page premium brochure on all my listings that were decent. 1, I want to get the listing. A lot of times you're interviewing. Well, if you're sitting across from the seller's listing table, you say, this is the brochure that I'm going to do for you. They're like, oh man, this is beautiful. Because you know who cares about the brochure? The seller that lives there thinks their house is amazing and the best thing since sliced bread, and they want to have a beautiful brochure to represent it. So you want to win the listing first and foremost. Second, you want the seller to like you and to continue to like you once their house is on the market. Now, if it sells on the first day, great. Okay, they don't really care, right? But if your house is on the market for 4 days, 7 days, 10 days, 15 days, every day that goes past is hard for that seller. Well, when they walk past their kitchen counter, they're either going to say a 1-page or an insufficient brochure and think, I kind of have maybe my house is still on the market because I got a kind of a halfway realtor. Well, if they see this beautiful 8-page premium brochure on the table, they're going to be like, I got a pro. Yeah, my house hasn't sold yet, but I know I got a pro. I'm getting beautiful listing activity reports from KV Core. I've got a beautiful 8-page brochure on the table. My guy or my gal is on top of it. He's going to get this thing sold, or she's going to get this thing sold. So you want the seller to love you every time they walk by. The other thing they're going to do is they're going to take their beautiful brochure that they have, and they're going to walk into work, and they're going to show it off to everybody they want because they want to be proud of their home, and you want to give them the beautiful piece so that they can be proud of their home. The third, and sometimes most important reason for having this beautiful brochure is who comes into the open houses as well. The neighbors. Thank you. Katie played the part of the crowd yelling what people normally yell, neighbors. Every single thing you do is an interview to all your neighbors. And the brochure is a key part of that. Look, you're not going to sell the house in the brochure, but you know what they're going to walk away from? They're going to walk away being impressed with you, and they're going to sit down and they'll be like, man, When I sell my home, I want Donny to list it because he's going to put a beautiful 8-page brochure out there that looks like this with great quality paper. All those reasons for 75 cents each, I'm in. Give me 50 beautiful brochures for 37 bucks. That is nothing. Give me the 8-pager all day long. So we got 3 different levels of great brochure that you can use on all your properties. The next thing that our print center does is newsletters. So 4-page newsletter. We send out through email, and it's on the Nest. You guys haven't even seen the Nest yet. It's going to be amazing. It's on the Nest that you can download. We have separate newsletters for all the different counties. Now, I'm going to say this with love in my heart. Do not just take our newsletter and shoot it out. I'll tell you why. Because if you're going to spend the time or effort or money to put out a newsletter, then give it a purpose. Now, for me, there's 2 main purposes I would do a newsletter for. One, farm. I'm going to farm a neighborhood. I'm going to go to Franklin Farm, and I'm going to work that neighborhood, and there's 500 homes that I want to market to. Great. We'll go in here and take this newsletter and put the calendar of events coming up. Thank the swim team, or congratulate the swim team on a great season. Great job, Little League team, on making the World Series. Remember, we got a big movie on the town green coming up. You want to make sure you sign up for that. Whatever it is that's going on good in your neighborhood, make sure you put it on there. They open it up, and it's going to give recent sales and activity within your neighborhood. You can't send a newsletter to the neighborhood that isn't branded to the neighborhood at all. It doesn't make you look like the neighborhood expert. If you're going to farm a neighborhood and actually look like you know what's going on in there. So either develop it to your farm. Now, once you develop all this, if you send that to by email to the 500 clients, that's free. Email's free. Or you can print it in this beautiful premium paper. Now, I said it was 50 cents each to print a newsletter, 4-page newsletter and premium newsletter, 4-page brochure. Well, if you do it as a newsletter, it's $1 each, so 50 cents more, to mail them, because it's more than 50 cents to mail this thing. So you could say, give me the 500 homes in Franklin Farm, email or mail my brochure. I can email for free, or I can mail it in this beautiful 4-page premium to all those homes for $1 each or 500 bucks. Now, you might say that's a lot of money, Donny. Sure. $500 times 12 is $6,000. But if I am the neighborhood expert and they get a beautiful newsletter from me once a month, do you think I'm going to get more than 1 call a year on that? I do. I think I'm going to get 3, 4, 5 listings a year off that beautiful brochure, along with all the other things I'm doing in that neighborhood. But I think it's worth it. So I said 2 reasons, right? Farm or sphere. If I was going to develop a newsletter for sphere, it would be about me. It's going to be, okay, here's what's going on generally in the real estate industry. Here might be a fun article. Here's what's going on with me, some of the homes I've listed. These people already know and like you to some extent. Maybe they just know you. Maybe they don't like you that much. Maybe you can like them a little bit, get them to like you a little bit more with the newsletter. But if you can make this 4-page brochure more about you that's going to your sphere of influence, then maybe you have a better chance of getting more clients off it. So same idea. You can email this for free, or maybe you've got your 300 people that you're going to market to sphere-wise. So send this beautiful newsletter out to 300 people. $1 each. That's $300 a month, $3,600 a year. Okay. Do you think you're going to get half of 1 deal a year from your 300 people if you market to them this beautiful newsletter? Of course you are. You know why? Because you'd be like, well, my sphere already gives me a couple deals a year. Well, you know what? You're right. But if they get a beautiful newsletter every month, they're probably more likely to give you at least a half a deal more from those 300 people because you're marketing to them every day. So I would work the newsletter to either work my sphere or my farm. No requirements, just good ideas, and you can leverage our print center and make it look beautiful. They can send it through email, and that's great, but they get the beautiful Donny Samson newsletter in the mail once a month. They're going to pick it up and see what's going on with you. Now, some of us have seen the junky black and white ones on paper, and yeah, they're cheaper, and you can do more of them, but you get this in the mail, 4 pages of beautiful, thick paper. You're going to have to take my word for it. It's beautiful, thick paper. But you get this in the mail once a month, you are impressed, and you're like, I'm going to read what's going on with Donny, because they already know you, right? So that's why I think the newsletter can be really valuable either to a farm or to a sphere. The last thing that our newsletter, our print center does, now, even if you were in the room, you couldn't have these, because you have to join to get these. All right? So we have these beautiful guides on our Nest, which I'll show you where you can download them later and develop them. But they are your buyer guide and seller guide. So the buyer guide is called Let's Find a House. The seller guide is Congratulations, you got a contract, now what? So what does that mean? I'm going to take the buyer guide. So this is everything that I would say to a buyer from the first time I met them until through closing and every number that's on the closing table or on the CD at the end. I wrote all the words. You might not like all my words. It's okay. I'll never know. You can download and edit them. Don't go and tell me about it or hurt my feelings. All right, but you can change whatever words you want in here. This one just says presented by Donny Samson. Put your picture, put your logo on here, put whatever you want on here. You can seat somebody. So I could be at my kids' lacrosse game this weekend, right? And somebody says, oh, I'm thinking about buying a house. Oh, great. Yeah, I'd love to help you. You go to your car and get your card. Great. Or you pull your card out of your pocket. Nobody cares about that, and they've lost it by the time they get home. What if you went to the car and pulled out a beautiful buyer guide that was branded to you? It's the Donny Samson buyer guide. And they open it up, and there's beautiful graphics, and there's how-to, every single word, every single step of the way. That is powerful. Before they already knew you socially in some way, shape, or form, but now you look like a pro's pro. You're like, you know what? Donny's telling me every step that's going to happen before he knows it. He knows what's going on in this business. I want to work with Donny because I have confidence he knows how to do everything from beginning to end. And now I do because I have this beautiful guide. So you can edit this guide yourself for free. You can email it to whoever you want for free because email's free. Or you can print it in our print center in a beautiful book like this for 10 cents a page. So if this is 20 pages, $2 each. That's nothing. I'd have 20 of these in my back seat at all times ready to give to people that I met. Seller guide, same thing. That one's about 12 to 16 pages, $1.20, $1.50 each. It does so much to help manage the expectations of your clients. Yes, you're still going to have to explain everything along the way, but the engaged buyer and seller is going to read your book, and they're going to know what steps are coming before they come. It was an awesome feeling. So back when I was selling, I started this whole idea of the guide. And it was just Microsoft Word, and it was my junky stuff. It wasn't pretty like this. But I'd show up at closing, and it was so cool. I felt so cool. I'd look over at my sellers next to me. They'd have their guide all out in Microsoft, and they had written all over and made notes and smiley faces and check marks. I was like, they were using my stuff. That's awesome. Well, now I can actually put out a beautiful book that makes me look like a pro from beginning to end. You don't have to tell people the annoying stuff like home inspection is coming up on Tuesday. You still have to tell them, but they've already read ahead, so they know this stuff. It's going to be 3 hours. You need to be out of the house for home inspection. You need to make sure you have this. You need to make sure you have that. And they're going to find stuff wrong with your house. There might be 10 things or 20 things wrong. That is normal. Home inspectors are paid to find stuff wrong with your house. Once they send over that list, we have 3 choices. We can tell them to pound sand. We're not going to fix anything. We can tell them we'll fix everything. We can offer them a credit instead of repairs, or a combination of the two. You've outlined all this stuff in your book ahead of time. So are you still going to have to tell them yes? But if they've read it ahead of time, they're ready. Their expectations are managed. So having a beautiful book like this gives you like 3 steps ahead of the game where you call and you got to make that uncomfortable call. You're like, look, I just emailed over the inspection report. We got to talk through the 15 things. Let's see what we're going to do. Well, they were already prepared for the 15 things that came over. They know they're either going to negotiate through repairs or through a credit or whatever because you've already told them ahead of time what's going to happen. Makes you look like a pro. Buyer and seller guides are awesome. You can edit them to yourself, email them, or print them in a beautiful book, which makes you look like a pro. So those are all the great things our print center does. The next page is all about lead generation. So the first thing I want to say about lead generation is this. Keep your sign leads. So keep your brands, keep your sign leads. If you are in Virginia, then it's a little bit different than Maryland, okay, in D.C. But in Virginia, we don't have to have our company phone number up there that big. So all we require is that it says Samson Properties and the office phone number in really small letters, or small numbers. I guess both, letters and numbers, right? You can have a big sign that says, I work for Domus Realty Group, okay, with your logo, your brand, your phone numbers. It should have your cell phone prominent. In Maryland, the office phone number does have to be the same size. I do understand that. But in Virginia, we can make it small. For years and years, we didn't have our office phone number on there at all. Depor 3 years ago or 4 years ago said we had to have it on there, so we have it on there really small. Some of you work for a brokerage right now that their office phone number is the big phone number on the sign. And you say, oh, yeah, but I get to put a rider on there with my cell phone number. To me, that is almost criminal. You don't know how many leads you've lost to your front desk. Oh, no, people call me on my listings all the time. If they call the front desk, they give the call to me. Oh, yeah? How do you know? How do you know how many times That's been passed to whoever's on desk duty, and then desk duty person pays 50-50 split back to the brokerage so that they're taking your leads and they're making money back off your leads that should have been yours. They're your listings. They're your leads. You should get the calls. Do not continue to lose leads and lose business to your company or whoever's on desk duty. Your cell phone should be big and prominent. Nobody should ever call anybody else on your leads. I don't want your leads. They're your leads. You've worked hard for them. All emails, all calls, they're all going to go to you. I'm going to make my office and my name as little as I can. Now, I think we have a good brand. I'm not telling you to go away from our brand. I think we have 20 different signs of Samson Properties, beautiful logos and brands that you can use and plug into and use those fine. We've got a whole section, samsonagents.com, that you can go into, see all the signs, see all the different things. You can easily order and use our company. But I want you to know you have that flexibility. So there are teams right now that you guys are working at some of the different brokerages right now where I can look at your sign and I don't even know what company you work for anymore. You've got a big brand out there and you've got a whole team company sign, and at the bottom it says whatever company you work for. They're not hiring you for the company. They're hiring you, the realtor. So stop worrying about what brand you do or don't work for. Come work for us. You're the brand. You get all the listings, you get all the leads. That's the first thing I want to emphasize when it comes to lead generation is you don't know what you're losing right now based on your signs and the stuff that's out there. Now we start getting into our free list. Some of these I'm going to talk about in a second. Some of them I've already talked about. Free coaching, training, CE, and mentorship. Free one-on-one social media and technology training. Free headshots and personal branding videos. Now, print center stuff. I told you I was going to talk about that. First thing, 300 free postcards when you join us to announce your move to our brokerage. Now, we've kept it pretty sterile up front where it says, proud to announce I've joined Samson Properties. You can edit that to whatever you want to say. Now I've got the tools and tips and technologies and all the advancements to serve you better in the future. I'm excited about this move. Now, is it really about what this says? No, you want to dress it up to make pretty. But it's a free touch point to the 300 clients or 300 people in your sphere that says, hey, this is me. Remember, I'm your realtor. Call me. So we give you 300 of those for free when you join to announce you're joining our company. So that's great. The next thing down is all about open houses. Now, we are super big. Is that Sarah? Sarah, when you watch this later, be quiet when I'm taping a video. Okay, Mormon? All right. Sarah's our vice president. I'm going to talk about her in a second. So all the good things I want to say about her, remember she was just yelling during my video. Okay? So we are super big on open houses at Samson Properties. Why? There are many people that will come in and say, hey, it's really slow. Donny, I haven't had any business in 2 months. Okay. Are you doing any marketing? Well, no, times are tough. I don't have any money to do any marketing. Okay, that's cool. Are you doing any open houses? Well, no, I don't really like going out on Sundays. Well, the business is not going to fall from the sky. You have to do something. Open houses are free. They take your effort, right? I know going out on Saturday and Sunday from 1 to 4, whatever time you want, stinks. The energy, the time. I'd much rather be sitting watching Nationals or Redskins games sometimes too. Maybe not the Redskins the last few years. Maybe Nationals is a better example. But maybe just NFL in general, not the Redskins, all right? But getting out there, you can meet clients and meet new opportunities. So if you're going to take the time to get out there, we're going to make it better for you. So what do? First thing, we give you 300 free postcards to renters for your open house. So if you're going to do a single family, or I'll give you a townhouse down the street in Centerville for $450,000. What would I do? I'd go in, put my plot on the map in bright, do a circle around it, give me all absentee owner properties within that circle. Pulls out 300 rental properties around that townhouse. Why? Because renters could be your next buyers for that townhouse, but in general could be your next buyer clients to go around and show buyers for you. So you go in, you pull out your 300 addresses, edit the postcard to what you want to say, email on the postcard, email on the addresses. By Monday at 9 a.m., we do everything for you for free. Monday 9 a.m., because we print all the postcards Monday. We got to get them in the mail Monday so that people get them by Friday or Saturday for your open house that weekend. 300 for free. Can you send 500? Absolutely. Just pay for the other 200. Or talk to your lender friend. Maybe he'll help you out with some financial to get some out there. But 300 for free for every open house. If you're going to do it, we want to help get people there for you. Pretty awesome. The next thing we do might be even cooler than that. We give you a free Facebook and Instagram ad for every single open house. free Instagram and Facebook ad for every single open house that you're going to do out there. So Katie's pulling it up on your screen right now, but what does that look like? So you're doing an open house Sunday at 1 o'clock. Thursday morning, you get an email over that says, do you want to run the free ad paid for by Donny? Well, yes, I do. Click that button, you get the free ad automatically. The ad looks like that. Steve's got a beautiful ad you can see on the screen there that is set up looking slick. It's going to run all Facebook and Instagram ads around that property to attract people back in. Not only does that attract people from the open house, but you know what it also does? Remember I said it's an interview process. Every listing you're doing, the neighbors are evaluating you. If they see your Facebook ad for that house and you think they're getting excited saying, I want that ad next time I sell my house. I want Donny to run that ad for me. So not only are you appealing to new buyers, you're appealing to the people in that neighborhood that want to hire you next time. So you're seeing this beautiful ad go out all over the place for 3.5 days before the open house. Now if they click on the ad, it goes to a nice landing page that's automatically generated by the ad. Anybody that goes to this sees the landing page and they can see more information about it. Now, this is going to look a little different in a couple months when it's tied into KV Core because all the leads are going to try right into KV Core and get into your funnel. Until that point, the next thing is how the leads are generated. So, we see a bunch of people click this ad. That's great. Now, how many people clicked it? Can we tell? We log into the back end. You can easily get this login through our system. You log in, you can see this ad. You can see it was seen 1,995 times. It was clicked on 80 times, and 16 people engaged that ad. That's pretty awesome. Not only is it awesome to show your sellers, you can show your future sellers. This is what I did in the last house, but you saw your current sellers. Look, on top of the 500 hits you got on Zillow and Realtor.com and Redfin or wherever, I got you 2,000 hits on the Facebook ad I ran for you. I'm out there working for you. 80 people clicked on it. Well, tell me a little bit more about those 16 people that engaged. So if you click that next button, you can see the 16 people that engaged in your ad and their email addresses. So you can follow up, hey, Diana, I saw that you had some interest in the open house. Hopefully I'll see you Sunday. Are you working with a realtor now? I'd love to engage and give you a private showing Friday or Saturday. I don't really want to engage you. That was a weird word. I'd like to maybe show you the house. We're not going to get engaged right away. I got a good laugh on that one. So I would like to show you the house, a private showing between now and Sunday if you'd like to. So in the future, when we have KV Core integrated to it, all these will go right into your funnel and market it out to. For now, you have to contact them directly, but you can see all these great leads right there. So not only have we given you 300 people and postcards to go to your open house, we've given you a free Facebook and Instagram ad, makes you look good to the neighbors and to the people trying to come in there. We've given you free people that are going to come and that you can reach out to and hopefully make your next client. You didn't pay $1 for any of these things. Is it much more worth it to do an open house now? Absolutely. If you can't get off your butt and do the open house now, I can't help you. Is that too aggressive? John, I've said the word butt on video. The idea is if you're going to get out there and give the great effort, we want to pour into you in all these different print and social media aspects to help people get there so you can create new clients, create new relationships, and sell more homes. Pouring back, does this stuff cost money? Of course it does. But if I'm pouring back into you, you're going to be more successful because of it. So, free 300 Facebook and Instagram ads. Now for your listings, that was all for open houses. For your listings, you get a choice. Either a second Facebook and Instagram ad that runs for 5 days as a featured property ad on Facebook and Instagram, or 100 just listed postcards for free. You can do both, you just got to pay for one. If it were me, I'd probably click the button, run my free ad, and then I'd run whatever just listed postcards I want on myself over here. But we let you advertise that listing as well as the open houses. Now, the next 10 things down there are reminding you about all the things that KV Core had to offer. Custom websites, lead generation, smart CRMs, market snapshot reports, listing activity reports, KV Core listing machine, branded apps, branded social media apps that you can give to people, open house apps, Core Social. I just read off almost all of them without even looking, didn't I? So all those great things that KV Core has to offer with all the Facebook ads embedded in. Also at the bottom, leads from Opcity and Prime Street, 2 independent lead sources. Free leads for you. If you do close them, you have to give back a referral fee because we have to pay those out. But free leads and opportunities for you to make new business. Those will eventually feed into your KV Core app as well once you get those going. The next thing down, free E&O insurance. I said that one 2 or 3 times just in case people missed it. Free E&O insurance. Free E&O insurance. Most people right now are coming from a brokerage, so they're paying $500, $600, $700 a year for E&O insurance. Now, I don't want to get into what these companies are doing with your E&O insurance money, but It's not my business. Know that we are paying for your E&O insurance for everybody. It is one big fat check, okay? It is a lot of money, but let's not tell Danny how big it's gotten as we've grown, okay? Let's keep that one between us. But it is a big check for E&O insurance, but it's free to you all because we want to protect you all, but we don't want to make you have to pay for that service. The last thing down is Samson points. Now I'm wearing a suit here, but sometimes my lovely staff members that are with me have beautiful Samson Properties polos or jackets on. My man Mark's normally good for having a Samson Properties jacket on that I can show off. So the 7 Samson points for every 100,000 in volume. I can't pay you for using your car or incentivize you, but I can incentivize you just for doing business. So for every 100,000 in volume, you get 7 points, which are like $1. So $1 million in sales, 70 points. Remember, I'm good at math. 7 times 10. All right, if you do $5 million this year, that's 350 points, $350. If you do $10 million, that's 700 points, $700 that you can then pour back into your business. Now, you can buy a polo and a jacket with it, but after that, it's about $50. What am I going to do from there? Well, now you can pour all that money and all those points back into your business. So you can buy buyer guides with those points, or you can send out extra postcards for free. I'm just grabbing whatever's in front of me. I'm crazy. But the idea is this. Once people get the jacket or a couple polos that they need, every $1 million, we're giving you 70 free dollars to pour right back in. Pour 140 free premium postcards back in advertising that sale you just made. So we're going to give you free money to pull back into the print center or back into whatever ads and stuff you want with Samson Properties logos on them to help create more business for you. So free points just for selling homes. The next thing on is education. We are obsessed, borderline obsessed with education when it comes to Samson Properties. What does that mean? So 2.5 years ago, hopefully she's out of earshot and stopped yelling during my presentation, but we hired Sarah Mormon. Sarah Mormon is fantastic. She was with Long & Foster for, I guess, 10 or 12 years as a, as a broker manager. And then she was the CEO of RE/MAX Gateways and ran 6 RE/MAX Gateways for 6 years until we recruited her away 2.5 years ago. Sarah is fantastic, and she would have told you never in a million years would she have joined Samson Properties 2.5 years ago when Danny and I sat down to lunch with her. But by the end of the lunch, 3.5 hours later, she was very intrigued because she felt Danny and I's passion for growing our company. She felt our passion for education, and she's all about education to make realtors better. Well, when she heard that we wanted to be the best education company in all of DMV, she was like, I'm in, I'm all in, I want to be a part of that, let's do it. So a lot of the great education you're going to see here started with those meetings and getting Sarah in and our passion for wanting to grow our education department. So what does that look like today? Right now we have 7 full-time staff members that are available one-on-one to help teach you anything you want. We've got 1 Maryland marketing coordinator that works in the Maryland offices. We've got 6 down here in Chantilly in our Chantilly branch. But those Chantilly staff members will meet one-on-one here, but they also travel out to the different locations. So like next week they might be in Columbia for one-on-one sessions all day. The next week they might be in McLean. The next week they might be in Gainesville. So basically 1 day a week we travel out, we do one-on-one meetings, and bring them to you. Now what does that mean? Postcard training, so working with our templates, general training on Dot Loop, general training on Bright, general training on anything you need to do generally with the computer, one-on-one training. We have a social media manager that will just sit with you one-on-one and help develop your social media, help you get going on your business pages and your whatever it is, your ads, whatever it is you want to do on social media, we help teach you how to do that for absolutely free. The third one is even the best one. So my man Ethan, who's laughed at a couple jokes today behind the camera, will teach you one-on-one, well not teach you, but he will tape branding videos, I said that word. He will do branding videos for you one-on-one, so he will tape you, edit it, make a beautiful video for you so that you can put that up on your website or on your Facebook pages or whatever. Video, whether we like it or not, is where we've got to get to. Some of you have jumped in with 2 feet and you love it, and we've jumped in as a company with 2 feet. And we want to help get you there and help teach you how to do it and do them for you and help you look great and look like a pro. Some of you are coming along a little bit slower, but the ads with video are like 50 times more likely to get engagement than just words. So the more likely you can wrap your head around doing stuff with video, being more comfortable with video. We're going to help you get there with our staff and teach you and do it for you along the way. So we'll do all those things for you. That's the base of our education, is knowing that we are here to help you do whatever you want to learn free of charge. We'll teach you. Some of the stuff we'll do for you, but a lot of the things you're going to teach you got to do it yourself. All right, so we got that's to start with. The next thing down is Samson University. So I'm going to show you this more in detail in a second. But Samson University is our video library. We say 450 videos up there, but I'll bet you it's even higher now. Right now, we're taping 3 to 5 things a week that we're going to tape and put on social media. During this coronavirus, we're probably going to end up taping 5 or 10 things a week, I have a guess. So we're going to throw them up there on Samson University. We are taping everything with our great staff here, and we're constantly making things available to you so that you can take classes where you're at. We're taping things at all of our different branches because we know you can't always be there, but we want to make sure you've got an opportunity to take all this education. So I'll show you Samson University and what it looks like in a second, but know that's a big part of our education, is putting it online for you later if you couldn't be there in person. At the top of the next page is Sarah Mormon. So that talks about how she's our Vice President of Operations, helps me run everything that has to do with Samson, but it started with her being in charge of all the education. So some of the great things that Sarah does to lead our education. The first thing is Ninja. So some of you have heard of Ninja Training. It's a whole real estate education series. It talks about the mindset of selling, how to work with buyers better, sellers better, why am I good at certain things, why am I not good at certain things, how can I emphasize things, how to work my sphere of influence better. It's a whole 8-week class. If you work at Keller Williams, they have rebranded Ninja and called it Bold, Keller Williams Bold. Now, in some brokerages that offer Ninja and Bold, they are charging you $700, $800, $900 to take this class. At Samson Properties, Ninja is absolutely free. $0 and 0 cents is what we charge you to teach Ninja. Since Sarah's joined, she's taught over 1,000 realtors Ninja. She fills the conference room with 80 people, teaches it 8 weeks in a row, takes a little break, and reloads it again and teaches 80 people again. It's fantastic. Sometimes she's taught 2 at the same time because she's a crazy person. You heard that from her screaming earlier. Just kidding, Sarah, kind of. So Ninja is fantastic. She's a great teacher. It's a 2-hour class. Now, Ninja's the only thing we can't tape because it's a national brand class that she has the rights to teach because she's an authorized teacher, but we can't use that material and disperse it to everybody. So you have to come in person and teach Ninja, but every single person that's taken it thinks it's worth it. They love it. Some people come back and take it a second and third time because they can learn more from it. So Ninja's the first great class we take. We've got a lot of other great things in there we teach. So the next thing down is Tammy Irby. So Tammy's been in the business for 36 years, 33 of which were with Long & Foster, and she came to us 3 years ago. Tammy's like our lead teacher. She teaches so many great classes with us now. She teaches a whole series, a 4-class series on how to work with buyers better, a 4-class series how to work with sellers better, how to convert renters to buyers, how to work better open houses and client events. She has a whole series called Samson Samurai, which is about, get it, ninja, samurai? We're pretty smart over here. Samson Samurai is how to become a great open house agent. So it starts with a 2 or 3 hour class, and then it's a 90-day program where you have to work open houses and client events, report back, there's accountability. And at the end, you can say, I'm a Samson Samurai, I went through Tammy's class. Well, why would you care about that? Well, one, if you're so much better at open, how many opportunities do you miss at open houses because you're not that good at them? Well, if you learn how to do better at them, then you're going to convert so many more clients going forward. If you're going to get out there and do the open house, make it worth it. We got more people there with all of our Instagram ads and our Facebook ads and our postcards. You get better at converting once they get there by taking Tammy's classes. And once you're a Samson Samurai, the top listing agents in our company that have tons of open houses available, who do they want to give those open houses to? People that have passed Samson Samurai, because they know they've been trained up by Tammy, who's the best. So if you're a Samson Samurai, they're much more likely to say, hey, you come do my open houses because I know you're good. You've gotten good skills from Tammy. So she teaches all those things. The other big thing that she teaches is called Dialing for Dollars. That's like her signature class. Now, people hear the word dialing, and they get a little scared because they think I got to phone call people. Well, I would be scared too. I ain't cold calling anybody because they might hang up on me, and that would make me sad. I don't like to be rejected, okay? Right now, I'm talking to a camera. You guys can't reject me in person because you're watching. You could click me off, but I guess I would never know, so it's okay. But Dialing for Dollars. It's not about cold calling. We actually might even change the title because we think people think it's just about cold calling. It's all about prospecting. So this started a year and a half ago. Tammy wanted to teach a class just for fun, just to help out. She had 20 people in the room and said, we're work on our skills, our prospecting skills together. Let's go to the corner. Let's call some of our sphere of influence. Let's work on a lot of the scripts. They call scripts dialogues nowadays, so keep up dialogues. So they all came back and they had this chart and they were like, we've made 82 appointments and we've written 10 contracts, and they were all high-fiving, back when high-fiving was allowed back in the day. Now we're doing air fives, elbows. But it wasn't about the 25 appointments and the contracts they made. That was amazing. But when Danny and I walked by, it was the confidence in these people's eyes. It was like they had a new lease on life. It was like, I can do this real estate thing now, because Tammy has armed them with these great scripts and dialogues and how to deal with objections, how to talk to buyers better and sellers better, how to follow up better with open houses, how to deal with FSBOs better. You're sitting at your kid's basketball game, so you say, I'm going to sell my house myself. I don't need a realtor. What are the best objections? How to deal with those objections? What are the best dialogues back to how to engage that conversation and convince them that maybe they should consider a realtor? It's about having these great things in your arsenal that you're comfortable with, you've practiced with, and you're ready to talk to people better. You don't have to pick up the phone and cold call anybody. But if you have now this new confidence in how to talk to people, look, some people this comes naturally too. Okay? I can talk to the friggin' wall. Okay? I'm not always going to interest the wall, but at least I can talk to the wall. Okay? But I still would take Ninja and Dialing for Dollars because I know I can learn things from these great pros that have been doing it a long time. So you take these classes and you have so much more confidence. Some of you might be in the real estate business. You're like, I have a tough time getting going. I get to the prospects, I can never really bring it home. Well, you might just need help with better dialogues and how to get there. So we loved the class. We did Dialing for Dollars. Then what we did was this. We said, Tammy, we need to replicate this all over. So Tammy now teaches it twice a month at all of our different locations. So right now she might be in McLean and Gainesville. Next month she's in Columbia and Alexandria. So she goes around to 2 branches a month. It's either a 3-class series or a 2-class series where she gets you in the room, teaches you all the skills for 3 or 4 hours, comes back the next week, does another class, and it's fantastic. People are loving it. People are signing up in droves to take it, and they're taking these skills and jumping to the next level. Everybody that takes our classes are really improving a lot. So we do a lot of great education classes. That's just the tip of the iceberg on all the different education we give. If you flip to the next page in your program, you thought I was excited about Dialing for Dollars and some of the other stuff. I'm even more excited about our coaching program. So we put in our coaching program probably the fall or winter of last year. So what happened was this. I would sit there and I'd watch Sarah, her office is next to mine, and she'd have agent after agent come in there, and she was coaching them on an individual basis, and it was fantastic because they're getting one-on-one coaching. Some of you out there might be paying for coaches right now, $1,000 a month, something like that. I think coaches are valuable, right? I can go to the gym every day, but if I have a personal trainer, I'm going to get a better workout, a more organized workout, right? A lot of coaching is about accountability too. So this morning, what's today? Thursday? Wednesday? Can't remember the day anymore. I went to the gym this morning at 5 o'clock with my 3 buddies because we have a group of 4 of us that go Monday, Wednesday, and Friday together at 5:30. I know if I don't ring the bell and I don't show up, that I'm going to get made fun of. I am accountable to them. So I'm much more likely to show up. Tomorrow, do I think my little heinies get out of bed at 5 o'clock? Fitty-fitty, right? We'll see, okay? Because nobody's going to know the difference if I get there or not except for myself. So the idea behind that is that we are so much better and successful when we're accountable at the end of the day. That's where the whole coaching program comes in. So Sarah was coaching up 20 people at a time. We said, that's great, Sarah, but you run yourself ragged. What if you coach the coaches? So now we have 20 coaches, and I open a year, we have 50 coaches all over our metropolitan area, over our footprint. If each one of our 20 coaches can help 20 people in the coaching program, now we have 400 agents getting coached up on an individual basis every week by our great coaches that Sarah's laid out a great program for, and they're all getting that great strategy sessions and that great way to build on itself. So what does that mean? So I meet with my coach Monday at 12 o'clock. I'm going to meet with Sarah. She's my coach. And we talk about strategy, things we want to do in my business, and we say, get these 4 things done by next week. Well, if I wasn't meeting with Sarah next week at Monday at 12 o'clock, do you think I'd get those things done? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe I got 2 of them done, and then life got in the way, and I didn't maybe get them all done. But I wanted to. I had best of intentions, but I couldn't get it done. Well, if I knew I was going to meet Sarah next week at 12 o'clock, I'm going to get all 4 done because I do not want to not have my homework done when I go see the teacher next week, right? So can you imagine if you set goals every week and you got them done for 10, 15, 20, 25 weeks in a row, you will be crushing life, personally, professionally, health-wise, all those things. If you set goals and have somebody accountable to them every week so that you're there and you're accomplishing them all the time, your business won't even look the same in 6 months if you have a coach and you're actually succeeding and doing the things that you guys decide you're going to do and accomplishing them every week. We pay for all the 20 coaches for free to you. This goes back to, is that costing me a lot of money? Of course it is. But I'm investing back in your success. If I can get 400 people more successful, then we're all going to grow together. You're going to be more successful. You're going to like working here more. You're going to close more transactions. Hopefully you'll use Cardinal Title for those transactions. And you're going to tell other realtors, you need to come here. They got free this, free that, free this. I'm still talking about free stuff. I've been talking for a while now already. So free coaching program for every single person that joins our brokerage if they want it. Next thing is free mentors. I shouldn't say free. We have a mentor program. This is where if this was a lunch and learn, you would want to pick up your bread, a couple of you, and throw it at me. But that's okay. I'm quick. I could probably duck it. Right now I'm a little bit slower, so don't try. But why would I say people want to throw their bread at me right now? We require a mentor at Samson Properties for your first 3 transactions. Not with us, in the business at all. If you've done more than 3 transactions, this is not going to be a problem for you, okay? But you want to know that I've required of all our realtors. I can't watch what 3,000 people do every day, but I can make brand new people in the industry get somebody to hold their hand through those first 3 transactions so they don't screw it up. Look, I'm going to say this with all the, I don't know. I don't even know what the next word is going to be. I'm going to say, I don't care if I offend you. I don't care if you've been a lawyer or an accountant or whatever it is, or you've sold your own homes 3 or 4 times with somebody. You don't know what it means to be a realtor until you've been a realtor for your first couple transactions. Passing the test did nothing to make you be a realtor. The test means nothing, okay? They don't even have the regional sales contract in the test. It's ridiculous, okay? That's a whole different soapbox issue for me, all right? But you need somebody to hold your hand for the first transactions. So we require you to work with a buyer, your first 2 buys, and your first listing, you have to have a mentor. That sounds great. Why wouldn't I want that? Because they do get a split back out of it. I don't make any money of it, so I don't care. But that mentor has to be incentivized to work with you because you want them to pick up your call at 8 o'clock when you've got questions. If they're not making any money, look, they could be the nicest person in the world, but they're not as motivated to get up at 8 o'clock and help you through your problem unless they're going to get a little piece of the action when you go to closing. So that is why we require the mentor in the first 3 deals, and it is a big chunk. And you might look at me, and Sarah and I get it every day, I don't need a mentor because of this, this, and this. I don't care. I'm going to say that nicely. If you don't think you need a mentor, then go work somewhere else and come back when you've done a few deals because we require it because my job is to make sure that our whole reputation and our whole company is moving in the right way. And if I'm not protecting the other 3,000 and letting brand new realtors run free without a supervision, then I'm not helping anybody in our brand do the right things. So I require you to have a mentor in those first 3 transactions so that you don't screw up yourself and you keep our name looking good out there. So I do require the mentor. Next problem, or next thing, Zochem. So, next problem. That was a Freudian slip there. Zochem is not a problem. Zochem is amazing and our realtors love it. So, EMDs, who's had that $10,000 EMD check in their pocket or in their wallet or in their wherever and they're stressed out until it gets to where it wants to go. They either need to drive it to Chantilly and turn it in, or they need to put it in the mail and then call accounting every other day and make sure that it got there. That thing stressed people out. It stressed me out having 1,000 EMD checks floating all over the world. So we pay for Zochem app, which means you can click the app, you can take a picture of the front of the check, take a picture of the back of the check, put in the information about the deal, automatically goes through to accounting, automatically gets deposited into Samson Properties or Cardinal Title's earnest money deposit account, like that. It shoots you an email, shoots the other agent an email, tells everybody you've deposited your EMD. One thing off your worry list and everybody's happy. So people are loving Zochem. It's free of charge to you all to make your guys' life easier. It's also becoming very cool during these coronavirus days. People don't have to drive their EMDs in or mail them in. Next thing down is our Cardinal Concierge programs. So what is that? So when I was selling full-time, doing a few deals, I had a full-time assistant. Great, Donny. Brag about the fact you had a full-time assistant. That's awesome. You're the man. That's not about that. How could I do $30 million a year? Because I had a full-time assistant doing all the stuff in the weeds. sometimes we spend so much time in the weeds, we can't get out up here in the jet stream where all the business is. All the business is up here in the relationships and thinking of your next idea and how you're going to work with your next client. But if you're constantly down here writing brochures and spending all day doing your bright listing, you didn't do any marketing to your sphere, you didn't talk to anybody new, you didn't get any ideas, and you wore yourself out on the hamster wheel doing the things you didn't have to do. Great. Okay, Donnie, I agree with you. I can't spend $50,000 a year on an assistant. I can't spend $25,000 a year on half an assistant with somebody. It's true. So what I want to do is create a program for you all that you could use concierge and assistant services on a transaction by transaction basis when you needed it, when you wanted to do it. Listing marketing package. So this lets you come to, we have admins at all of our different offices that can do these programs. You can work with the same admin every time so you get used to them. You bring in your information, they will put your listing fully in bright, they'll create your brochures, they'll make sure all your social media ads look good, they'll babysit and they'll launch your listing. Okay, they'll take it from the beginning to launch, make you look like a pro, and spend the 2 days doing it so you don't have to dive in there and do it. Sounds pretty good, right? 150 or 250 bucks a pop. The best part is you can pay for it at closing. That's what people love. It's so much easier to take $250 out of my $10,000 check when I go to closing than up front when I'm trying to get a listing launched. I don't want to spend all the money. I just had to spend money on a photographer or this or that. Well, you can pay for your assistant at closing, which helps people a long way. Now, people say, what if my deal doesn't close? If it doesn't close and we launched your listing, we did it all, we'll charge you later for it. We're not going to stress you out now. Well, we know where you live. We'll get that money from you at some point. It's fine. So listing marketing package helps you launch the listing. The next portion is called transaction coordination. Transaction coordinators, when I went out there, it's basically your assistant from contract to closing. So I evaluated what my assistant did, and I evaluated 5 or 6 other transaction coordinators in the business. That's how I came up with the list of things that we offer. Most of them were charging $4 to $450 a pop for this, some as low as $350. We charge just $150 each. $150 for them to be your assistant from contract to closing, make sure you dot all your I's, cross all your T's. Nailed it. Sometimes I mix those up. I think it might be funnier when I mix them up, but I got it this time. Dot all your I's, cross all your T's, make sure everything goes good, because you can do a great job, all right? And you can do 100 things in a transaction, and you can do 99 of them right. What are your clients sometimes going to remember? That one thing that you screwed up. You're like, but I did all the other things right. But that one, if it's big enough, might be the one thing they remember. It's like, you know what, Donnie messed that up. He ain't that good. Well, if you had somebody holding your hand along the way, making sure your client had an amazing experience, and making sure you guys weren't missing things, you're much more likely to get happy clients, more referrals, and free up time for you to go get that next deal. Don't worry about the $150 you spent to have an assistant on it. Worry about all the time that you freed up so you could go meet new people, go take that new possible client to lunch or to coffee or meet that person. You had more energy to go do that open house on Sunday because you had somebody helping you as an assistant all during the week that freed up that energy you needed to go do the open house or go show houses that night. So transaction coordination, $150 a pop, you can pay for it at closing. Now, if transaction coordination, if it falls apart, we never charge you for that. We don't know if we helped you for 3 days or 3 weeks. At some point the deal fall apart, you're sad, we're sad, chalk that up to a wash. We're never going to charge you for transaction coordination if it falls out. Listing marketing package will hit you later because we kind of did our job and it was launched. But transaction coordination, that's a freebie. Now, we also have something called Concierge Complete. That is everything on the listing marketing side and transaction coordination. You get one great person who will take you from beginning to end. $400 for Cardinal Concierge Complete. Say that 3 times fast. How many of you are just saying that in front of your computer right now? I wish I could see out the other end and I could see how many of you are doing it. So $350 for Cardinal Concierge Complete or $400 for Cardinal Concierge Complete. You get everything from beginning to end. Take it out of your $10,000 check at closing. It's amazing. Instead of paying $25 grand a year for assistant, I could get an assistant on every deal whenever I wanted and take out of the check and no skin, no game. So people love the concierge services, and our goal is to continue to build those services and help you stay out of the weeds, stay in the jet stream, complete more business. The next thing down on there is sell promotion packages. So we don't get as much of this. This is the Danny Samson plan. I told you that we're going to teach you how to do Facebook ads, and we'll teach you how to do all these different things you want to do. But if you're like, look, I don't want to learn. create them, do them for me. We've got somebody that can do that for you too. You can work with our marketing team, pay them a one-time fee. They'll create the ads, run the ads for you, and keep them running for you and keep things going for you. So that's, you can dive into it with our marketing department if you're interested in self-promotion packages. The next thing now is graphic design a la carte. So we have a full-time graphic designer on staff here. She does a fantastic job. When I was selling, I was limited to what I could do or what my assistant could do, right? Or whatever templates. I'm going to show you we have templates in a second. But imagine you could get your own custom stuff done. Well, if you go out to a graphic designer now, you're going to start $100, $200 to start talking to somebody. You can hire Holly out to customize anything you want or create something for you for just $30 an hour. So you'd be like, oh, I want to do this, this, and this. She'll say it's going to take 2 or 3 hours. You're like, that's great. Have at it. Charge you the $60, $90. You've got a whole customized package set up for you, whatever you want done. So it's great to have that graphic designer in-house. You say it's not about nickel and diming you, but if it was free, everybody would use and abuse Holly, and they just throw stuff at her for to do that they had no care about wanting to use, and she would be in the corner crying because everybody would be abusing her and asking for everything under the sun. If you have a little bit of skin in the game, then you're much more likely to only ask for things when you actually want to use them and have them done. So we do charge $30 an hour for the full customized graphic design. The next thing over is the Cardinal Nest. So this is our intranet. So Katie's going to go to the live intranet here that will follow us along here. I'm going to give you a brief overview of the Cardinal Nest. If you join us, you get to log into the Cardinal Nest. And this is, you can see everything we do in one spot on one web page here. So as you log in, you can see the top thing is that you can come into our virtual sales meeting. So you can see what date we were taping this. That was today, March 18th. So you could have watched our live sales meeting right there. There's Sarah and I, and what we did this morning with our sales meeting. And you can click on to watch all different presentations and announcements right there. As you scroll down, you're going to see that we put major announcements on the front of that page. And as you keep scrolling down, below the KV Core announcement, you're going to see, I just left the screen. Sorry about that. I get a little wandery. When I'm at a lunch and learn, sometimes I get really wandery because it's tough to stay in one spot for a long time. You can see that we've thanked everybody that used Cardinal Title Group yesterday. We cannot pay you, we can't incentivize you, but we can sure thank you. So we thank you publicly in our sales meetings. We thank you on the Nest every single day because we want to make sure we know how thankful we are for you bringing your business to Cardinal Title Group. So we thank everybody in the announcements every day. If you scroll back up to the top, Katie, a couple other fun things we've got on the homepage there. We've always got a featured video on the top right of the page. So right now that's the sales meeting from last time, but that'll always change. Now if you click the View More Videos button or in the top on the quick links, there's a Samson, oh, lost you. In the quick links, you can see Samson University, or if you scroll down a little bit on the right side, you can see there's a Samson University button right there. All three of those get you directly to Samson University. If you open up Samson University, Katie's going to open it up now and show us what it looks like. It looks like this. So this is our video library for everything. It's got everything categorized and it's amazing. On the top, you can search by keyword. Should I do the thing where I try to like point and then you try? I'm just kidding. It will never look right on camera. But in the top, you can search by keyword. I almost cracked there. It's a double the pleasure for you guys watching. You get some cracks. Search by keyword on the top. On the left, you can see that we've organized everything by category. Dot loop training, how to win a bid series, how to work with postcards, listing presentation, buyer presentations, whatever it is you want to do. On the top right there, you guys did the Maryland flag. That's funny. Good job, Ethan. So you can also see recent videos. So as you join us, you can easily go to recent videos and see all the most recent stuff. So if you haven't logged in a week or two, you can see all the different videos that come up. Ethan has now put the Maryland flag in the Maryland video, so he's very creative there. If you scroll down further, you can see recent sales meeting videos. That's last week in Bowie. You can see seminars, recent technology training. So you can see that it's very easy to find any video that you want to find at Samson University. And you can search through, and you could spend weeks in there watching all the great videos that we put on. And we're constantly adding stuff every day at Samson University. So if you go back to the Cardinal Nest, the next thing down on the right side of the page was a calendar. So on the calendar, you can see that there's lots of dots hovered up there. So today is that day. You can hover over it and see all the things going on that day. You can see we had sales meetings and all the different presentations we had. If you click on the left side of the page, you can see there's a full calendar link. On that calendar link, you can see what a month in the life of Samson Properties looks like. So there's too many things there to even go over, but you can see there's 2, 3, 4 things. Now, this is not normally what it looks like with some postpones and live and that kind of stuff. Obviously, there's a virus that has hit us, and we're not allowed to form in groups of more than 10. So that does limit what we're doing right now. But you can see how many things we typically have scheduled all over the place. All of our different branches. Tyson's, McLean, Gainesville, National Harbor, Samson, Chantilly, Alexandria, Bethesda, everywhere you can see on this sheet. You can attend anything and everything you want whenever you want. You don't have to belong to that office. Now on that page, you'll see if there's a certain RSVP or a sign up. If you have to RSVP or sign up, it means there might be limited space. So you have to make sure you sign up if you want to attend those things. But you can see that we've got lots of great options for you everywhere. Back to the dashboard, scrolling down on the right side, we've got dedicated pages for Cardinal Title Group and for First Heritage Mortgage. So Cardinal Title Group, obviously, you can click there, get all the key people, all the key things you need to know about Cardinal. First Heritage Mortgage. So we've had a lot of great lenders come through here in the 20 years I've been here, 5 different ones to be exact. We liked First Heritage Mortgage so much that we stopped dating them, we decided to marry them. So what does that mean? That means we're not just partners with them, we actually bought into a small ownership interest in First Heritage Mortgage because we thought they were so great and so professional that we wanted to then be a partner. Now, are you going to ever hear me stand up and pressure you to use First Heritage Mortgage? No. I think they're great. I think you should make a buddy there. I think they're fantastic and you should use them for all the loan services. They are in all of our offices. They will help you. They will teach us. They will do all sorts of great things for us. Cardinal Title Group is where our bread is buttered, so you will constantly hear me tell you to hopefully use Cardinal Title Group. But these pages will give you great access to all the different great times they've come in our meeting and visited and all those types of things and all the key contacts you want on those pages. The next thing down, you see Samson University. You see Dot Loop. We are a Dot Loop company for our transaction management platform. It is totally free to you. Now, why did I choose Dot Loop? Because when I was selling real estate, when I first became COO, I had to pick what we wanted to use for transaction management. Well, back when I was selling, I had to use zip forms for my forms, which I paid for, DocuSign to electronically sign my stuff, which I paid for, a PDF editor to edit PDFs, which I paid for, a Dropbox storage, which I had to pay for to store all my stuff, and then I had to turn it into the office in some way, shape, or form. Back then, we used Track My File. Everybody has their own system. We had to turn it into the office. Well, now, with Dot Loop, I can do everything from beginning to end, totally free that we pay for. It's got all your forms in there. It's got free e-signature. You can edit PDFs. You can store as many files in each loop as you want. And when you're done, there's a button up top that says Submit to the Office. Fantastic. You can do it all on one platform. Now, maybe you love what you're doing now. Totally fine. You don't have to use Dot Loop from A to Z. I just require you to do Z. That means you can use whatever form you want. Zip forms, DocuSign. You can use pen and paper for all you want. Now, I would tell you, you should probably learn to use the computer. It will help you in your future business. What's amazing is that Katie has heard my presentation so many times that she actually now anticipates the jokes as they come and now turns to other people to see if they're going to laugh when I tell the jokes. But I actually made her laugh because of that, so it's a win for me. I don't care how you get there. You can use pen and paper and scan it in, but what I need you to do is turn in your file that way at the end. So if you don't love Dot Loop from beginning to end, that's fine. You just need to turn in all your files that way. That whole page tells you how to use it. We have classes. We have one-on-one tutorials. We have everything you need to make sure you're successful at Dot Loop, so we can make you a Dot Loop Pro if you want to be one. We have an internal coming soon board. Down the middle, we've got a couple key buttons here. We won't dive into all of them, but I want to let you know what they are. On the left, there's an orientation. Sarah and I teach an orientation class once a month, and then Linnea, our great marketing coordinator in Maryland, will teach a Maryland orientation once a month. And those things are how, once you joined us, how to best manipulate where to go, who to talk to, what to do, and all the different facets. There's also full videos of the orientation on the orientation page. We have a cheat sheet. Once you join us, you can see a cheat sheet, and you can download it there, and you can see all the different people for every single thing. Now, some people default to, oh, who do I want to talk to Facebook ads about? I'll email Donny and ask. That's fine. Donny and Sarah get lots of emails, okay? And that's fine. I'll direct you to the right spot. But it's best if maybe you look at the cheat sheet and you say, oh, who's our social media manager? That's Aaron. Oh, I'll talk to Aaron about the Facebook ads or how to better do social media stuff. So the cheat sheet is always downloadable there, so you can see all the key people that you need to talk to for whatever it is you want to talk to. Back to the main page, you see there's a button over there for Cardinal Concierge Services. So we talked about that before, but if you click that button, that's where you would download and who to talk to about Cardinal Concierge Services and all that information I just showed you. The next thing over is I run a front door podcast. So Ethan helps me to do that a couple times a month we're trying to do. But it's a podcast all about helping our realtors become better. So we interview top people, dive into big topics, and podcasts are great. You can listen to in the car, you can listen to while you're working out, whatever it is that helps you to learn more about real estate in an audio format. The last thing over is Samson Cares. So this is where you can sign up. This is our philanthropic effort. You can donate portions of your commission each time or one-time commitments to dive into Samson Cares. Once we get $20,000 in there, we get together, we do a meal party with Generosity Feeds. So it's our way of giving back to the community. Generosity Feeds is the way that they put meals in kids' backpacks of kids that aren't getting fed enough food. It's super sad, and I don't want to talk about it more because then I start crying because I'm a big sap. But I'm really excited about what we do with Samson Cares. So we had one a couple months ago. We had over 400 people in Samson Properties and our agents and their families that got together. We packed 20,000 meals and paid for 20,000 meals that we put right in kids' backpacks to help them get the meals that they weren't otherwise getting. So it was an awesome outreach by our company. We're going to continue to do those every few months all over the metropolitan area to help families out. Down the middle there, you see discussion boards. On the left, Katie's going to click where it says message boards. We used to have a good Facebook group, and a lot of you might be in Facebook groups out there. And then Big Bad Mean Donny came and shut it down. Well, why did I do that? Well, I shut it down because only about 60% of people out there were using Facebook effectively every day in their business. Well, that's great, except 100% of my people wanted to be a part of a conversation with each other. The other problem with Facebook is it's so unorganized. For a billion-dollar company, it's the most unorganized platform on the earth. If Katie posts about an open house today, I can't find it the next day because it's buried under 25 posts, and I can't find what's an open house and what's this and what's that. So what I did is I created an internal message board system where we've got 10 or 11 great message boards on there where you can log in at any point. You can post to the board you want to post to. You can respond to the ones you want to respond to. And we can all be a part of the same system. Now 100% of our agents can be involved in the conversation instead of just 60%. It's also much more organized. If I'm interested in open houses, I can go to the open house board and look. Now we take that a step further. The one thing that Facebook has, which is great, is those notifications, right? It pops up, 1, 2, 3. There's stuff for me to look at. Well, what you can do is you can on the right subscribe to as many boards as you want to. So if open houses really interest you, you click the open house board and you're subscribed to that. So anytime anybody posts in that board, you get an automatic email right away. You don't have to do anything with it, or you can click it, open it up, and subscribe and join the conversation right from your email. So the message boards are a great way for us to all communicate with each other. We share lots of great things through there. We do Tuesday tidbits that Sarah puts up. We've got great boards for KV Core and other stuff in there. You can click sales meeting notes. So we had our big sales meeting this morning. Every 2 weeks after our big sales meeting, I will compile sales meeting notes and I will email them out to the whole company. From there, it's got lots of great video links to things we talked about, key topics going on in our company, key classes that are coming up, key classes you might have missed that here's the videos of. So they're like a 2-week checkpoint for everything at our company that you can read. Well, if you missed the email, we post them then on the message board afterwards, so you can always refer back and find all the exciting things that are going on in our company in my sales meeting notes section. So the next thing over is resources on the top left. So resources is like our library. This is every single form that we could possibly have in one spot. Now, this is not your dot loop form, so not your sales contract forms and all that kind of stuff. What it is it's every graphic, every PDF, everything you could ever need in our company in one spot. Let's say you're scrolling down here and you've got a just listed postcard or you got a just listed house. You could click just listed and it's going to shoot out 19 different templates, 19 or 20, whatever it is, 17, 19, 20, whatever's going on up back there. But you've got tons of different postcard templates, brochure templates, flyer templates that you can use. So all you got to do is download that to your own computer in Publisher or in Pages, whether you're on a Mac or a PC. You can take out my picture, put in yours. Take out my house, put in your house. Put in your words and take out mine. So you've got lots of great templates right there that you can take Danny and I's ugly mugs off of. They put in yours, and they're your own templates that you can then save that PDF, email that in. I'm just kidding, Danny. You're not that ugly. He's not going to watch this far into the video. We're good. So you can manipulate the templates, make those your own, and send those in. So you email in your PDF, email in the addresses that you want it sent to, and how many you want done, and we do everything else, like I explained earlier. So this is where you can use our resource center to manipulate and find all your own stuff. Next thing now is called Top Agent Resources. So in the resource section, you've got hundreds and hundreds of documents. Well, I want to make sure you can find the good stuff, whether it's all good, the best, most important stuff. So in the Top Agent Resources page, you can see that we've pulled a lot of the great stuff out there that help you find all that easier. Earlier I talked about the buyer guide and the seller guide. That's right there. So you can download, click the buyer guide, download it, manipulate it, make that your own, save it. Now it's your own buyer guide in a PDF format. So all the key stuff that I want to make sure it's easy for you to find, full listing presentation template, graphs if you want to see all that chart stuff from before, tips for how to win a bid, all these other great things that I want to make sure it's easy for you to find. Go to the Top Agent Resources page there so it's easy for you to access later. Next thing down on the left is Mega Day resources. I'm not going to dive into every one, but our marketing staff does a great job of doing these mega days where they come together and they teach lots of great social media, digital marketing, Facebook classes all in one day. Last week in Bowie office, they taught 8 classes in one day. They've got videos of it, slides of it, how to be great at social media, digital and social media marketing, all these fantastic classes that you can scroll through, watch the videos, blogging, social media planning, anything you can imagine. You can watch those videos now in the comfort of your own home and download the slides right there on the Mega Day Resources ad. Next thing over is Print Center. This just outlines that print process I already talked about, gives you the pricing, the 1, 2, 3, how to download your PDF, how to find your spreadsheet addresses, and how to email it in. So that's really just the explanation process and all the stuff underneath there. We've talked about the calendar already. We've talked about the message boards already. We've talked about announcements already. The next thing is agents and staff. This is a picture directory of all the agents and staff in our whole system. So why do you care about that? Well, one, you could go in and find a Spanish-speaking, say you work in Tyson's. Well, you've got somebody moving out to Culpeper. You could go in, don't do the search, Katie, it's fine. You could go in and find somebody that works in Culpeper that speaks Spanish, that's been in the business at least 5 years, and does commercial real estate. You can sort by all these different categories, and it will shoot out realtors within our company that fit that criteria so you can find a great referral partner to send that next business to. So you can manipulate all the realtors to find the great people. You can click on brokers next. This gives all of our brokers, we have hundreds of brokers in our company, but these are the people that we pay money to be your great brokers and broker support here all over all of our different offices. A couple that I'll point out. At the top is Mike Briggs. So Mike Briggs is the man, the myth. He is our managing broker for all Samson properties, and he's amazing. Mike has been a broker almost as long as I've been alive. He's fantastic. He has been on every NVR committee, on ethics committee for 5 years, then he chaired it. Arbitration for 5 years, then he chaired it. Professional standards for 5 years, then he chaired it. He has been judge and jury at MVAR for years and years. There's nobody that I would rather go to when I was in a pinch than Mike. Mike will tell you behind closed doors what you should have done better, but out in the front line, he will fight for you and fight like a bulldog to make sure that he's protecting you. The funny story I like to tell about Mike is this. So we were at the festival 2 years ago. I haven't even talked about that festival yet. I'll close with that in a minute. Well, Danny and Donny, Danny and myself, I'm talking in the third person now, we're out there, and we're doing the whole show, and we think people like us okay. But then we was like, hey, now how about a cheer for Mike Briggs, our great broker? Well, all the realtors, unsolicited on the side, start going into a chant. Mike, 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 because they love him so much. And until you've been in that spot that you need your broker to help you through something, you can't appreciate the love you have for a broker until you realize I've got a great broker and this great support. So Mike Briggs and all the other great people on that staff, on that sheet, provide the great broker support you need. My pledge to all of our realtors coming in is, if you ever complain we don't have enough broker support, I'll add more brokers like that. We do not ever get that complaint because we have fantastic brokers all over the region that are helping our realtors out. And it starts with Mike Briggs. The next couple links on the top there, we're not going to go through, but it's Samson staff, Cardinal Title staff, First Heritage staff. You can see pictures and bios of all those people if you need to connect with them there. On the left side of the page, the next link down is office locations. So if you click office locations, you can see all the different offices, a map, and the key thing is information on all those offices. So if, say today, I'm in Chantilly, but I'm out showing houses this weekend in Alexandria, and I want to use the Alexandria office. Well, how do I get in? Well, if it's during business hours, you're going to walk in, you can use it right now because it's open. But if it's Saturday at 3 o'clock, people may or may not be there, right? So I can click on that link, and it's going to show me the address, the key information, the manager, the Wi-Fi, but more important than that, on the top it says access information. Each one of our offices has a central lock or a combo box outside that you can easily access to get keys or fobs to get into the building, use it as your own, do whatever you need to do, write your contracts, hopefully put the key back when you're done so the next person can use it, but use it like a lockbox or a combo box so that you can use that office as your own. You've got Wi-Fi passwords in there, printer codes, all that kind of stuff. Everything you could need to walk into that office and use the facility like your own is on that office location page that you can access at any time. The next link down is education. I've already talked about all the great classes, the mentorship, the coaching, all the things that we've talked about in our education. This page, though, shows you all those, the details of all those programs, how to sign up for whatever classes and coaching or whatever you want. It's all on the education page for you. We've got a recommended contractors database that you can add to or use. The next link down is Samson Shop. This will be where you can see all the cool gear that you can buy using your points or actual dollars if you want to on Samson Shop. And I think that's the last link on the Nest. So the Nest is your great internet, and that was a kind of brief, kind of detailed overview of everything that you can do on the Nest. And obviously you could dive deeper and spend lots of time on the Nest, and you will once you join our brokerage. Going back to your booklet there, I talked about the Cardinal Nest. The next page down there is all about our culture. Our culture is really, really important to me. That's why I took a deep breath to focus on this here. We have two main rules in our company, and normally I get that out a lot further earlier in the presentation than now. But our two main rules are to be nice and be professional. Those seem simple, right? But we're all going to make mistakes in this business. I've made 10 mistakes today. You can just ask my wife. She can probably give you a few of them that I made before I left the house today. But if you're not out there in a professional and a nice way, then you can't be on our team anymore. A lot of people say they care about our culture, but I'm fairly young, getting older by my gray hair. You can probably see on video. But I plan on running this company for the next 30 years. My name is also attached to this company. I got 4 daughters. I'm in the community. I want to be proud of the company that I'm in charge of. So I care passionately about the culture and the way we're perceived out there in the industry. And we're working every day to improve that. So how do we do that? I can't know what 3,100 people are doing every day. But when Mike or I or other people get a whiff of the fact that we're not doing the best things in the world that we could be, and we're not ethically sound, or we're not professional out there, and we're just plain mean, or I like to use the term bad apples. If you're a bad apple and you're doing things the wrong way, you can't stay with us anymore, okay? Because my obligation is to the 3,000 other people that are trying to do things the right way, and they want me to protect their reputation. Last year, we let go of probably 35 or 40 realtors from our company. And if I had more people here, sometimes I get the gasps there. Now, it's not because I'm a mean person. It's because if we find out you're mean or you got a bad attitude, you're not professional, we don't want you on our team anymore because I want to make sure that we're all doing things the right way. A couple months ago, I always hesitate to tell this story, but hopefully it's got a positive ending at the end of it. A couple months ago, I sat down in my office and I recruited a team. Together they did $25 million a year, which would have put them in the top 10 of our company just to start with when they walked in the door. The initial meeting went pretty good. We followed up with some emails and calls, about a month-long process. After a month, they called and they said, Donny, I'm in. Let's go. It's going to take me about a month to clean up some business at my old brokerage, but we're in. We're coming. Great. I walked out of the office. I gave my high fives to a couple people. Today would be air high fives, elbows. But we were excited. Now, as the day got closer that they were moving in, I started to hear some whispers behind me. Apparently, I always hear whispers behind me when I tell this story. You never hear whispers in front of you. They sneak up on you. You got to watch out. Whispers that maybe they weren't the best apples in the world. As I heard a couple, I said, I want to investigate it further. And I asked a few people around the industry that kind of did business in there. And I got 4, 5, 6 reports that maybe it wasn't a great fit. So I had to make a tough call. This is a $25 million team that's going to join our company. But I had to make the call. I had to pick up the phone and call them and say, look, it's not a good fit. I'm sorry. I don't really want to get into details, but I think maybe you should just stay with where you're at. We're going to stay doing what we're doing. Wish you nothing but the best in the future, but I don't think it's a good match for us. That's a hard call to make, to turn out a great team that you've worked hard to recruit. But in that moment, I said, look, if you're going to put your money where your mouth is and you believe that you're trying to serve the 3,000 agents and our reputation the best you can, and now you've got somebody that you think might not give you the best reputation out there, then you got to hold firm with what you believe in. So in that moment, they were moving in the next day, but I had to call it off and say this is what's best for our future going forward, is to be firm in our convictions. So that's why I tell that story, is that if I were going to consider joining a brokerage, like you all are, I would want to know that the person at the top has that conviction to look at people and say, look, you do things the right way or you don't get to stay here. And I'm going to be honest, 5 or 10 years ago, we probably couldn't do that, because we had to take whatever business we could get, because as you're growing, you need the good people doing the business. But now we're in a spot that we can make the right decision, not the decision we have to make financially. So that's why I tell that story, not to make myself sound like the big bad wolf, but to hopefully tell you that if you join our company, I'm going to do everything I can every day to protect that reputation. Now, in bigger, brighter topics, fun stuff we do for our culture, because we are all about fun. Hopefully you can tell that with some of the joking around we've done in the video already today, is we have great sales meetings. Twice a month in Chantilly, once a month in Maryland. I rotate to all the different offices. We get 60, 80, 100 people in the room. It's fantastic. We get donuts. We get Anita's burritos. We have a fun time. But we do not do boring sales meetings where I let you stand up and talk about your new listing that has 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, and backs to trees. I'm really excited about your new listing, but nobody in the room cares, okay? If I let everybody in the room stand up and talk about their 100 listings, that we would all fall asleep from boredom, okay? You have the MLS for that. We are going to talk about great things that are going on, education classes we have going on, technology stuff that's new, KV Core, how you can use it best to leverage your business, how your open house is doing, what are things that you're going through in the market today. Real life stuff that we keep it fun, we keep it moving. We want to make sure that everybody there is learning and having a good time, because that's what we're about. We're about one big family atmosphere, having fun, being professional, and succeeding together with great, good, positive culture. So our sales meetings are fantastic. The next thing underneath that you'll see is the Samson Festival. We do an amazing festival every year. This year it's October 24th. It's going to be a bull run. So I encourage you to come out there. If you've joined us, you're going to have a fun time. You cannot go if you're watching this video and you have not joined us. So I just said the date and the location. Do not come unless you're a part of our family. We have a list at the door. But it is amazing. I got a good giggle on that one. Last year we were out. We had over 4,000 people attend the festival. You get to bring yourself and your family. We started to look at it and we're like, look, we can have a boring Christmas party or holiday party where we have a 2-hour random Wednesday night and people come and it's fine, it checks the box. Or we can spend that money and have the best day of the year. And the family festival is the best day of the year for so many families in our company. It's my kids' favorite day of the year. My kids get it pretty good. They're freaking spoiled. But the Samson Family Festival is their favorite day of the year. You get to come from noon to 10 p.m. and you get moon bounces and games and free food and free drinks. The kids don't get the free drinks, okay? That's for us, the alcohol, the wine, the margaritas, the beers, okay? But it's full day concert all day, maybe multiple stages this year of shows. And it's just a day where you can kick back and have a great time with your family and with the big Samson family. And that's why we love it so much. We're expecting over 5,000 people this year, and it's going to be amazing, and we can't wait. That's what we're about, is family fun, family camaraderie, and one big happy family here. It starts with the Samson family, obviously, but it extends out to all of our realtors and all of our staff here and being one big happy family. So that's what our culture is all about. The last thing you see on there is peer reputation. It's just a service that peers can rate each other on how they're doing. I don't put a ton of stock in it because I know that 96, 97% of our feedback is good, but I do check on a weekly basis to see if I have any problems going on I need to worry about. So I do check into the peer reputation just to make sure things are going good. The last thing, I'm going to close up kind of with my last main message is this. I sit down for this one because I guess I've become more serious. I don't know. I talked about a lot of things on here that we're trying to do for you. And hopefully you've gotten that message that it's not about what I can make off of you and what dollars I'm charging you for any project. I mean, we talk about KV Core and Facebook ads and concierge services and print centers and free coaching and a million different things we talked about that we're pouring back into you all. And we're only charging $345 a deal as an admin fee for most of your deals if you're in Cardinal Club. So how does it all work? I only ask one thing in return. You try and use Cardinal Title Group. Now, we can't make you, we can't incentivize you. Once you start using them, it's on them to do a great job to keep your business. And I get that. And in the last 3 years, we've made amazing strides at Cardinal Title Group to make them an A-plus title company. And they sincerely, from the bottom of my heart, I believe they're an A-plus title company now. It starts with hiring great people like Carrie Lindsay to be our president and our attorney over there. 2 years ago, we hired Carrie, and it was transformational as far as the professionalism and leadership that the title company was led by. The other great thing that hiring a great person like Carrie does is it leads to great contacts throughout the industry. When you hire somebody great that's been in the industry 20 years, they've got great people that they know and are friends with, and the amount of people and great employees we've hired in the last 2 years at Cardinal Title Group has been amazing. The best money on the 2 pages you're looking at right now at Cardinal Title Group staff, the best money we can spend is on fantastic people. And that's where we made the biggest change. 3 years ago, as we were climbing up, we had to make decisions on staff that could get the job done at a reasonable cost, because that's what we needed to do. Thankfully, I'm so blessed that we're at the point now where we can get the best staff. Because the difference between having okay staff and great staff is the difference on if Katie's a realtor and she joins me today, and Katie's going to do 10 transactions a year for the next 10 years, she's going to do 100 transactions. Well, if I have okay staff, you might do 10 or 15 deals with them, or maybe 5 deals with them out of 100 transactions. But if I have phenomenal staff, and I pay for the best money to get the best staff we can, and we recruit the best people out there, Katie's going to love using Cardinal Title Group. She's going to use them 70, 80, 90 times out of her next 100 transactions. And she's going to fight to use them because she knows not only is it giving back to Samson and Cardinal, but she's going to get taken care of by great processors and great closers and great post-closers and everybody else. So we understand the importance of that. And the difference between getting 5 or 85 of Katie's transactions means getting great staff. So we pour our resources into that to make sure that we have a great staff at Cardinal Title Group to help you out. They are located in all of our different locations. And the last amazing thing Cardinal Title Group does is we invest a lot of money in using a system called Qualia. Qualia, some of you may have heard of, but only about 10% of title companies' transactions are using it now. And that is, it is a totally secure environment for your clients to log into and for you to log into. The bad guys are smarter than the good guys nowadays with these wire frauds and digging in and all that stuff. So if you can log in a secure environment, your clients are giving us all their personal information, and a secure environment that when they've logged into, they're only getting in wiring instructions and important information within Qualia, then we are protecting you and your clients. You can log in as the realtor and see all 3 or 4 cardinal transactions you've got. You can see where they are at the process and each step along the way. You're a part of the process. Your clients are a part of the process, and people are loving Qualia. They're loving the security and the ease of use of it. All of our transactions in the last year, we launched it a year ago, they're all using Qualia now, and people are 100% happier with that service. So we're fired up about that for Cardinal Title Group. So my plea is to use Cardinal Title Group. Give them a try. It's on their job to earn it. Even if you've got somebody you love right now, that's great. Give us a try. Give us every other and see how it goes. Give your current company one and then give Cardinal one. See if they earn your trust, and I think they will over time. And you'll want to pour back into Cardinal Title Group because you understand that that's how the whole machine is fed. We're going to pour back into you, hopefully use Cardinal, and we'll use those resources to make your life easier at Samson Properties and help you sell more homes. Next page is some First Heritage people, great loan officers, great support staff, all of our staff, pictures of them. You've got this whole thing, managers, addresses, all that kind of stuff. Last couple tidbits on the last page. Commercial deals, we do have a 90-10 split on those. It's because we don't really get title business on those, so we do have a small split on the commercial side. For rentals, no $345 brokerage fee. If you have a tenant, you get to keep all $400 of your tenant rep fee. We're not going to take any of that money. You get all the tenant rep fee. If you have a rental listing, we have a small admin fee. It's 7.5% of what you charge in a 1 month's rent. So for $1,000, $75. So $2,000 rental, which might be average rental, $150 admin fee, you get to keep the rest. We do have an in-house property management company that you can use. There's no requirement to use them, but I think it's great because if you tell your clients you don't do property management, what are they going to do? They're going to go find somebody to manage their property. Well, somebody that's going to manage their property might know a different realtor that all of a sudden they're going to pass that to that realtor in 3 years or 4 years. So I would want to keep them in-house with our property management company. When it's time to re-rent that house, relist that house for rent or for sale, they're going to pass it right back to you, keep that client under our umbrella, so they're taking good care of them. The last thing I'm going to say is this, it's on the piece of paper. Some people love joining us for the flexibility that we allow people to run their own businesses on. We allow you to do whatever deal you need to get the deal done in front of a deal. So what does that mean? So if you've got your next door neighbor's house and you have got to have that listing because you cannot stand to drive home every day and see somebody else's sign in the front yard, you can list that property for whatever you want to list it for percentage-wise. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, whatever you want to charge. We have one requirement when it comes to listing properties. If you're going to list it in Bright, you have to charge at least 2.5%. You have to offer at least 2.5% out to the buyer broker coming in because we want to protect that integrity for everybody at Samson Properties. Now, you can't advertise less than 4.5% listings. So you can advertise 4.5%, 5%, 5.5%, 6% out there in the marketplace. But if your next door neighbor or your cousin or your friend wants you to do the listing but only wants you to do it at 3.5%, you have my okay to do whatever it is you want as long as you pay me my $345 or $495 if you owe that as well, and you give out 2.5% in Bright. So people love that flexibility that they can run their businesses the way they want to. Now, cash back. Somebody calls you and says, I'm going to buy a new construction home, but I want 2 points back. Go do it. It's 1%, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 you didn't have yesterday, right? So you can go do that deal if you want to. Now, you can't advertise more than 1% cash back out to the marketplace, but you can do whatever deal you want at the table to get it done as long as I'm getting my $345 admin fee and or $495 as well if you owe that as well. That's the only requirements I have on that. So I'm not saying, look, we could have 5 smart people up here and tell you 5 different ways to run your brokerage, your business. So I don't care how that works, but if you want to charge 6, charge 6. You want to charge 5, charge 5. You want to charge 4.5, charge 4.5. But what we do is we give you the flexibility to run your business the way you want, and you don't need approval when it comes to doing a deal in front of you. I've had stories of people that take a listing at 3.5%, and people are like, why would you ever do that? Well, it's because they made a connection point there on that person. My wife, her first listing ever, she had 3.5%. And she said, Donny, should I do it? I said, well, what else are you doing? We were 23 years old when I got nothing going on. Take the listing, right? She sold it the first weekend, made 0.5% on the deal. But in the next year, the connections from that guy, we made $55,000 in commissions in the next year. Now, when you're 23 years old, $55,000 in commissions in 1 year is fantastic, right? So that was off that one deal that she never would have made that connection if she said, I would never do a 3.5% deal. Now, you might say, never in a million years would I do that. That's fine. The great thing about Samson Properties is we give you the flexibility to run your business the way you want. You're all running 3,000 individual businesses. It's up to you to do that. Those are all the lots and lots of words I had to say. I want to thank you, if you've watched all the way to the end here, for logging in and learning about our brokerage. I'm really proud of what we're growing here. We've got amazing staff. We've got amazing realtors. And we're getting better every day. We're not perfect. I don't claim to be. But I think we're doing a really good job. I think we're growing every day as a company. I would love to have you join our team and our family. I think that our major thing, if I would leave you with, is that my pledge to you is we're going to keep trying to add, keep trying to make our brokerage better every day. It's never going to be about what I can make off you. It's always going to be about how I can make your life better. And if you join us and come along for the ride, we think you're going to wake up 6 months from now, it's going to be an even better company. And a year from now, 2 years from now, and you can jump on with us. And we're excited about the future and the way things are going. So I'd encourage you, if you have more questions, reach out to me by email or by phone, and I'll talk you through those. But I'd love to have you a part of our family going forward. And thanks to you for all your time watching our video today.